But I want you to get in the mindset of Jam. He's calling Smirk. Smirk ain't answering. He's older than these niggas. He gotta talk to little guy Vonnie. He gotta, every time he called Dirk, Boonie Mo call him. It's like they sent him off. Like, trust me, he can't be that stupid.
I think they were on their way to Hooters.
And also, while they trying to figure out, okay, they get the drop, they trying to figure out how they gonna try to kill this nigga now. The niggas in the cars are saying goofy shit. Nah, let's do it right here. He peeping the game like, I don't even know LA like that, but shit, hold on, ain't a car over there? Wait, y'all want to just go kill a nigga in the dispensary? Nigga, go make sure there ain't no fucking cameras in there. Like, bro, your brown eyes, you go in there and go see, like, what's the vibes, nigga? Like, he realizing he's on a drill with rookies. Straight up. He's on a drill with rookies. I find they catch Quando at the gas station. Yo, now's the time. First nigga hop out the car, brown eyes, Lindsay. He on some no allow shit. Jam is a fat nigga. And he got his red and white Pradas on. He ain't trying to scuff those up on the drill. Okay, he trailing behind him. He knows Dirk wants Quando Rondo deceased. Nigga, this ain't no Steph Curry shit. Why the fuck you shooting from the logo? He want a goddamn slam dunk. He want to walk him down. He can't walk him down because Brown Eyes, he already pulled out his gun 20 feet away. He's shooting all over the place with the fucking switch. This is how the gun going. Nigga, they fired like 100 shots and only 3 bullets hit Savai Robinson. So now you can't run in front of those bullets. So he said, fuck it. God damn it. I'm on a drill with a bunch of fucking rookies. He's on a drill with rookies. So all he could do is fuck it. He got to just stand right next to this rookie and get his shots off. Apparently, you're going to even hear, he says one of them niggas' gun only fired 1 bullet, either jammed and that nigga never shot again. What? You got to imagine when he's like, he probably felt like he was he was LeBron James on the 2012 Cavs, nigga. This is, or not 20, it was on the Cavs, but damn, LeBron been in the league a long time. Like the 2007 Cavs, nigga. You got Eric Snow. Eric Snow is like the only nigga. This is ridiculous, man. Boobie Gibson. Fuck out of here. After these niggas miss 99% of the shots that were fired, they get back in the car, and nobody says, yo, let's get out of town. They say, yo, where's the nearest In-N-Out? Bunch of rookies, man. But you're hearing it.
First, he said. Because then they had to wait for, and then they were waiting for Didi and some other stuff. So then they all got together, switched cars at some point, and ended up in a Sprinter van. They went, I have Duty Low as one finding low. Duty Low, they had got.
How ironic. A nigga named Duty Low is getting the low. Duty Low drops the low. Duty Low is getting all the lows.
So he still didn't know what was going on. Then apparently they got on a FaceTime with Duty Low. And Duty Low.
Now you got to imagine they sending this man off. He tried to call Smirk. Booty Mo called him. He like, yo, damn, what we out here? What's the plan? Hold on, Smirk about to call. I bet. Smirk called on a different phone, and he on a different phone. What? Yo, what's the plan? Where these niggas at? Like what we finna do? We gotta like make moves. We gotta plan this shit out. Hold up. Let's put Duty Low on the phone. Everybody but Smirk.
Oh, and pretty much told them that, hey, you're here. You guys are on this mission to kill Quando Rondo. And that he has the locations of where Quando Rondo would be staying because Quando Rondo's weed man had been in negotiation and talks with Duty Low, and Duty Low was giving them the drop on everywhere that Quando Rondo would be via Quando Rondo's weed man.
Now, didn't I tell y'all this, chat? Chat, didn't I tell y'all this? OTF Jam right now is in court testifying to that. Yo, Durk put him with the rookie squad. Durk put him with this. He put him in the remedial class. The ESL niggas. The niggas with the helmets. Nigga jam and shoot niggas for 12 years. Well, not 12 years, but like, you get what I'm saying. Since he was like 12, nigga. Here's the thing. Jam says when he was in the slider, he sent a text. Remember, you got Vonnie and Didi in that BMW. They don't got no guns, though. Their car is just only to follow the Escalade, but the shooters is in the Infinity. They all got the guns. They got the mask. They got the gloves. Jam sent a text to somebody in the BMW while they following Quando. They said, bruh, let's not do this shit. Yo, these bitch ass niggas is scared. He can hear their heart beating. They're panicking. He's looking at like, I can't go on no drill with these niggas is scared of shitless. The prosecutor said he sent a text saying, nah, bro, don't do it. These bitch ass niggas is scared in this car. He could smell the fear. Prosecutor said, you got a text back from that? Nah. So Jam is basically saying, not only did he not have a motive to kill Quando Rondo, because he wasn't sliding for Von, like, you know, that shit don't affect him. He was locked up for all the time that Von was out. And popping.
What's up, y'all? I'm trying to debate. I'm doing some other content right now, but I'm trying to debate if we gonna jump, when we gonna jump into Seti Nash going over the transcripts for yesterday. So bear with me a few minutes to finish this, and then I think we're gonna jump into it, and then we're gonna break down the actual testimony from Jam from yesterday.
He said, even though he ain't know what he was there for when he got told he was to kill Quando, he said, you don't get in the way of somebody trying to kill somebody where I'm from. That get you killed. They pay for the flight. Nigga, I don't even know how to book a flight, nigga. Now it kind of goes into this. Did Durk just hire a bunch of disposable niggas and probably say, fuck if they're rookies or not? But if you know, by the way, we're making assumptions here. But if he did do that, I'm sorry, what Trench's News said, it kind of sounds right. If you're going to hire the rookies who are sloppy, they're scared shitless, they're a fish out of water to go kill people in LA, they don't know the territory, they don't know the terrain, they don't know nothing. Shit, they don't even want to run up on the vehicle to do it. They want to shoot from way back there. You might as well do what Trench's News said. Man, when they get back to Chicago, y'all got to get rid of the shooters too, man. The shooters got to go too. That's the only way you get safe, Durk.
They said, is this something that you wanted to do? He said, no. But where I'm from, you don't stop somebody from trying to kill somebody because guess what? You either kill or be killed.
Matthew said, you see the video OTF Jam came out 3 years ago saying they knew Durk and them before prison. Yeah, he did. He said he knew Durk from around the way. He knew Durk from around the way.
And if you try to stop somebody, motherfuckers gonna think you.
He just said he ain't hanging the same circles with him, but he knew him. And he said how he knew that Durk became a BD. He said Durk would do the handshakes, and he said Durk would start making songs for, like, you know, like Song for Bitches or whatever. Like he was starting to heat up, but he was making songs or whatever, but they didn't hang together.
Acting weird, or you like a police, or they'll kill you. So I had to say, fuck it, I'm here. They said, do you have a problem with?
I think I'm ready. Because basically, that's what academics and them doing. They basically going over the transcript. We're gonna see how long we can rock out. It's been a minute, okay? Appreciate you, Kevin. It's been a minute since I did this type of live, okay? But we gonna see, okay, how far we can get, and then we can always tap back in to academics live. But basically, I realize that's what they doing. They putting their own 1-2 on it. So y'all already know that good talking Negro named Sadie Nash. Okay, y'all know he like to read, and normally I like to use him when I do have to do this type of content. We gonna listen in and we gonna see the actual wording that was said yesterday during Jam, and then we'll tap back in. I will be on live for a minute. I'm supposed to go to a nail shop. I don't know if I'm gonna go today or I should have just gone more, but nevertheless, this is gonna be a long live, so I'll be here for a while. Y'all make sure y'all share the live, like, comments, tell everybody to pull up. I should be on here until 8 p.m. We'll see if I can hang in there. We can see, but I'm supposed to be on live to 8 p.m. Depending on if I decide to go to the nail shop, that might change it. But other than that, I'll be on here. Let's get started.
Mr. Morse, yes, Your Honor. The United States calls Casey Jerome Hester to the stand. The court, ladies and gentlemen, while Mr. Hester is taking a stand, you may stand and stretch. Pause in proceedings. The court, just one moment. Counsel, very briefly approach at the bench. Court, I don't think it's going to come as a shock to this jury that the 3 cooperators are in custody, and therefore I'll just say that they pled guilty, they are in custody, and therefore they are being treated that way. And just on that, but just before I do that, I just want to see if there is an objection from either side. Government already indicated that they had no objection. Finland, no, sir. The court, okay, an open court. The court. Ladies and gentlemen, as you will shortly see, these 3 cooperators are going to be brought in by the marshals. They will obviously be people. They are in custody. I don't think that is going to come as a shock to you, given that, as you've heard, they have pled guilty to serious crimes and are awaiting sentencing. So I just want you to know that this is going to be the case. They are just being treated the way somebody who has pled guilty to a crime like this and is awaiting sentencing would be treated. So that is the situation. The clerk, please raise your right hand. The re-up on Casey Jerome Hester, called in these proceedings and after having been first duly sworn, testifies as follows. Clerk, please state and spell your name for the record. The witness, Casey Hester, K-A-C-E-Y, Hester, H-E-S-T-E-R. The clerk, thank you. The court. Counsel, you may proceed. Mr. Morse, thank you. Direct examination by Mr. Morse. Good afternoon, Mr. Hester. What's up? Sir, are you currently detained in federal custody? Yes, sir. Is that because you have pleaded guilty to federal crimes? Yes, sir. What charges did you plead guilty to? Conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, resulting in murder, and robbery, murder, and carrying a firearm and firing a firearm. Do one of those murders relate to the murder of Savia Robinson? Yes. Mr. Morris, published exhibit.
Yeah, I want to know how much time does this time depend on how this come out? Like, I want to know how much time is they giving him for doing this? Like, this is a lot for sure.
13, page 73. I'm showing you exhibit 13, page 73. Sir, do you recognize what I'm showing you? Yes. Who is that? That's me with a gun in my hand. How do you know it's you? Because my shoes I have on. I have some red and white Pradas on. We'll get into the details of that murder in a moment. But right now, as you look forward,
sliding and Pradas is crazy.
To the courtroom, do you see any other people who participated in that murder and or those planning Mr. Robinson's murder? Yes. Can you tell me who they are? Dirk. Mr. Banks? Yeah. Do you see anyone else? Dee Dee. Is that DeAndre Wilson? Yeah. Okay. Do you see anyone else? Yeah. I don't know his name. I just know him as CVL Shawty. Okay. So you see another person you committed this murder with here in court? Yes. Can you tell us where he's sitting and just describe something that he's wearing so we know who you are talking about? He got a black suit on, gray tie, glasses. Mr. Mills. We object and stipulate to his identification in court, judge. Court. All right. Based on the stipulation, the record will reflect that Mr. Lindsay has been identified. Go ahead, counsel. We'll get into the details of the murder a little bit later, but I want to talk to you a little bit about, well, first of all, In that murder, Mr. Savia Robinson, were you targeting Mr. Robinson or were you targeting someone else? No, Quando Rondo. Why were you targeting Quando Rondo in particular? For revenge of King Von getting killed. All right, I want to talk to you a bit about your background. Where are you from, sir? I'm from Chicago, South Side, Inglewood. Have you lived on the South Side of Chicago your entire life? Yes, sir. How old are you? 34. In your life, have you been involved with a criminal street gang of the South Side of Chicago known as the Black Disciples? Yes, sir. And I want to ask you a couple of questions about your involvement in that gang. With respect to the Black Disciples in general, though on the South Side of Chicago, are there blocks or cliques within the Black Disciples umbrella? Yes. Were you in one of those blocks or cliques? Yes, I was. Which one? Lamron 300. And how old were you when you got into the gang? I've been around them my whole life, but I got blessed in when I was 9. And you said blessed in? Yeah. It's that, like, the initiation into getting into the gang. Yes? What? Yes. Why is it, do you know the block that you were involved with? Question, my bad. Why is it, do you know why the block that you were involved with inside the Black Disciples called Lamron? Because we all are normal. We are all 64th and normal. And you spell it backwards. We say we ain't.
If he got 20 years for all that, woo, that's a good one. 20 years. But not only a murder for hire as a shooter, plus a gun charge, woo, he gonna come out good if that's really what he got.
Normal. So we call ourselves Lamron. So the gang originated on the intersections of 64th and Normal. And Lamron is normal spelled backwards. Mr. Still objection to repeating the testimony. Mr. Morris is trying to clarify, Your Honor. Yeah, overruled. Witness. Yeah. Okay. I want to talk to you about some of the structure of the gang. Did you eventually become a leader within the Black Disciples? Yeah. What position did you obtain within that gang? A minister. What kind of authority does a minister have? A lot. Can a minister issue directives to younger members? Yes. To commit acts of violence, for example? Yes. How does someone rise to the level of leadership? Multiple ways. Could you give us some examples? It could be how they see people rise through the ranks through money, inherited, like family held, somebody in a family held power within the mob, violence, ways like that. And why did you rise to the level of leadership in the Black Disciples? Violence. And when you were an active member in Lamron, by the way, is Lamron also referred to as Lamron 300? Yes. Can you just briefly explain why it's referenced as 300? Because like the movie 300, the Spartans, how they never back down to nobody. That is us. Is it fair to say that Lamron can be referred to as Lamron 300, or just 300? Yeah. When you were an active member of Lamron 300, did you participate in meetings with other Black Disciples? Yeah. And just so we are clear on why this is relevant, did another individual that you committed this murder with also participate in some of those meetings and you saw them there? Yes. Who? Dirk, Lil Didi, Mr. Wilson, and Mr. Banks? Yes. Okay, so I just want to talk so we get an understanding of what are those meetings about? Are they regular? How do those go? First, it was a regular meeting every Friday, but if it's an emergency or something going on, we can be called at any time. Is this a member of, are the participants of that meeting just Lamron 300 Black Clique, or is it more broadly Black Disciples on the South Side of Chicago? It depends on the situation. It could be multiple different cliques of Black Disciples. What type of things are dealt with at those meetings? It could be violations. It could be Black Disciple, different cliques getting into it. It could be, let me stop you really quickly. Is there some slang that we've got to educate the jury on here today? Okay. So you just said Black Disciple cliques that get into it. Did you say that? Yes. Can you explain what that terms means, to get into it or be into it? Like how to act, beefing with each other. Okay, please continue. Yeah. It can be murders, can be discussed. Black Disciples getting into oppositions can be discussed. Things like that. Can folks get blessed in at those meetings also? Yes. Do you have to bless in order to be a member? Yes. Is there some kind of oath that is taken when you bless in? Yes, it is. Can you explain? You get blessed in with 3 laws, 3 different laws. Like when I was blessed in, the 3 laws I was blessed in with was I will sacrifice my life for nation's causes. I will abide by all commands given to by the king and all upon the chiefs. And I will greet and salute any member of the Black Disciple Nation with the touch of the hand and a clenched fist. I just want to be clear. What was the first one? I was sacrificing my life for the nation's cause. For the nation's cause, meaning the Black Disciples Nation? Yes. Okay. What was the second one? I will abide by all commands given to me by the king and upon all the chiefs. Abide by the commands of the leadership of the Black Disciples? Yes. What was the third one? I will greet and salute any member of the Black Disciple Nation with the touch of a hand and a clenched fist. That one has to deal with the greeting and saluting fellow Black disciples? Yes. Okay. What does the first one mean? Basically, like you're going to put your life on the line for what they tell you to do. Does that include not tolerating disrespect? Of course. You said, of course. I want to talk to you about some of the principles within the gang of the Black disciples. It is important to be loyal to your block and loyal to the Black disciples as a member of the Black disciples. Yes. Can you please tell us about that? I mean,
what's up, Night Owl? This should be shown to all young people who think being in a gang in the streets or being in cliques are worth anything. Not strangers telling on you, but your partners. I ain't gonna lie, it do hit different for sure. Like, dang, took care of him for all those years and didn't even have a relationship just off the strength. But that's gonna definitely be a problem too. Just that part of the testimony, because it shows like if you ain't had a relationship with this person and you were sending them money and stuff, kind of like the gang ties type thing. So, but the defense still got to have their time.
You got to be trustworthy. A brother has got to trust you in every way. Situations like this, you got to be able to count on other Black disciple members. Okay, you said situations like this. What are you referring to when you say situations like this? People going to jail and cooperating? Okay, in other words, part of loyalty as a Black disciple member is not to cooperate with law enforcement? Yes. Not to testify against other members? Yes. Not to testify in general? Yes. Are you familiar with the term get back? Yes. What does that mean to you? A get back is basically revenge. Revenge for like somebody kill one of your homies, somebody shoot one of your homies, you get revenge. You get your lick back. Get back. You were getting your lick back? Yes. Is that something that is kind of known in the streets? Whether a certain Black disciple member or block got their lick back or got get back or not? Yes. Can it look bad if you don't get your lick back or get your revenge? Yes. How is that? I mean, you don't want to be looked at as weak block. You don't want nobody to feel like they could come and kill y'all and just get away with it because people going to prey on that, And you got all the Black disciples that push the issues too. Like it's not just something you are allowed to happen. Are there encouragements? Is there encouragement for the get back in terms of just the culture around gangs, even from non-gang members? Wait, can you say that again? Let me ask you this. Can even your family be disappointed sometimes if you don't get back? Yeah, believe it or not, yeah. And what? Mothers be mad, even grandmothers be mad. That they feel like their loved one got killed and nobody done one behind it. What about a prominent member of the Black Disciples gang is murdered by some rival? Is it especially important or is it just the same? Issue might get pushed a little more, yeah. Why is that? Because some people just more important than others. So does that mean that getting revenge for some folks is more important than maybe a non-important gang member? Yeah. The leaders within the gang and the prominent members, are they kind of held up as an example of how strong a block is? Yes. Is that a part of the reason why it's important? Yes. What about respect? Is respect important and I understand it might be important to you broadly, but I'm talking specifically about in the Black disciples. Is respect important? Yes. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? I mean, you're going to be respected. You don't want nobody to, if you are a leader, you want the people that you lead to respect you. You don't want them to just go behind your back, probably do snake stuff, not listen to what you got to say. If somebody don't respect you, then how can they look up at you? Can it be dangerous to not be respected? Yeah. How's that? Because if you ain't respected, you can be a target. Is everyone in the Black Disciples considered a shooter? A person can be counted on to commit shootings? No. Okay. Can you explain the different roles that people can have their identity around as a gang member in the Black Disciples? If they're not just shooters, what are the other folks? It could be a person that give money, whether that is selling drugs or a scammer. You could be a fighter, just really anything. Everybody not killers. Everybody around us not killers. People do all type of stuff that is not killers. Like, I can't just speak all of them off the top, but if some people play multiple roles. Okay. Do shooters get respect? Of course. A lot of respect? Yes. Did you get respect? Yes. Were you a shooter? Yes. Did you have a reputation for violence? Yes. I'm going to talk to you about that. When was the first time that you can remember picking up a gun and shooting at someone? I was 12. Can you tell us about it? It was Halloween and somebody came through shooting a paintball gun and hit one of the older guys in the face, shot him in the face with a paintball, and he was mad about it. And my cousin Chris grabbed guns and gave them to one of me and my other brother homies. And they told us, when that car come back down the block, air it out, shoot it up. And when the car came down the block, that is what we did. So this is an older gang member telling you and others to shoot at the car next time they see it. Next time they see it. Next time you see it. Yes. And you shot at it. Yes. Did anyone get hit that you know of? I mean, I was told that somebody got hit, but I'm not 100% sure. About how many times were you involved in shootings from the age of 12 to 18? Maybe 10, 15, something like that. I ain't sure, but around that number. And I just want to sort of put what you are saying into perspective now. You, at the age of 18, essentially went to prison for 12 years. Is that right? Yes. Okay. So right now, I'm focusing on before you went to prison for that long stretch of time. Okay. Okay. So between 12 and 18, it sounds like, so you said between that period about 10, 15 shootings? Yeah. What about robberies in those days? Were you involved with robberies? Yes. Are we talking about strong arm robberies with your hands and fists, or also firearms? No, armed robberies with guns. About how many robberies did you commit during that time frame? A lot, a whole lot. Like, I ain't gonna lie, probably 100 plus. Who were you robbing? Drug dealers. Was it just drug dealers? The only time I don't rob somebody other than a drug dealer was for food. You said for food. Why did you have the need to commit these robberies at such a young age? Man, so my mom and my dad, they was hooked on drugs. I had the responsibility at 12 to pay my mom bills. Like, I'm my mom's youngest, and out of everybody, I was the one that stuck up, had to step to the plate. I was the only one that's willing to do it. And I got turned on the robberies, and it was an easy way to get money. So it's just what I did. Within the Black Disciples of Chicago street gangs in general, are you familiar with the term a name? Someone having a name in the streets? Yes. Can you explain that to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury? It just means having a respect, a name for yourself. That is because you get money or you being a shooter. People fear you. Just having respect, a name for yourself in different type of ways. You mentioned robberies. In 2010, did you participate in a robbery in Racine, Wisconsin? Yes, I did. Can you tell us about that? So me and another BD from my block who was asking me to ship at the time, he asked me to go with him to commit a robbery. Someone that his daddy was dealing with out of town where he sell drugs at. And the dude played his daddy out of some money. Like, the dude owned a store and his daddy was cleaning his money for him. And his daddy told him, dude played him out of some money. So we was going to rob him. And we went to rob him. And during the robbery, let me just stop you really quickly. So we're clear. This is a situation where an older gang member told you that there was some beef involved with an individual who owned a store who was cleaning money.
I think this part is to show that he's always been easily influenced, and he's like, that has always been his thing. He's told what to do, even when it comes to violent crimes. That's what I take from wanting to get into this situation.
And drug money for him, for his dad. For his dad, yeah. And this older gang member felt that this person, Mr. Steele, I'm going to ask questions. Overruled. Mr. Morris, I'm just trying to clarify, Your Honor. The court, yeah. Go ahead, counsel. Mr. Morris, thank you. So this older gang member told you that this guy had cheated his dad out of some money? Yes. And this guy owned a store, and so the plan was to rob this guy? Yes. Okay. And that guy was located in Wisconsin? Yes. And okay, did you participate in that robbery? Yes, I did. Tell us what happened. So we went in, we locked the door, pulled out the gun. The guy tried to take off running. My other homie grabbed him. They started fighting. And my homie told me, shoot him. Like telling me, like, dude, male, basically, you going to jail. So when I shot him the first time, he like, no, basically told me like, I got to kill him or he going to jail. So that's what I did. What did you do? I put the gun to his head and pulled the trigger. About how old were you at this point? 17. It's going further in the trajectory here. But did you eventually speak to the FBI about that murder? Yes, I did. In 2023? Yes, I did. That was after you participated in the murder of Mr. Robinson? Yes. Is that when you began cooperating with the FBI? Yes. Did you confess to this murder that you just described? Yes, I did. Have you pled guilty to that crime? Yes, I did. In the beginning of your testimony, you were talking about the charges you pled guilty to. Were you including?
So hold on. So we just learned that OTF Jam has been cooperating since 2023, at least a year before the indictment hit.
That one? Yes. You mentioned, Mr. Banks. You call him Dirk. Yeah. When did you first meet Dirk? Like first meet him or knew of him? Met him. Like 08, 07? Okay, how old were you then? 14, 15, something like that. Did you eventually know him to be a member of the Black Disciples from Lamron? Yes. How did you find out that he was a Black Disciple from Lamron? So I went to jail. When I came home from jail, like he was around. He was at our meetings checking Lamron. He was at all our parties. I mean, he hung around. And when you say you said he was shaking up Lamron. Yeah. Are you referring to a handshake that Lamron 300 gang members have? Yes. Do you have any gang-related tattoos, sir? Yes. What kind? Or what did they say? I got 2 for 14, me, BDN. I got 300. I got Lamron 300. I got OTF. You have 300. Is that considered to be like Lamron? Yes. Question. Do Black Disciples have gang signs? Do we have gang signs? Yes. Yes. Your Honor, I'm not sure if Exhibit 182 is in evidence, but if not, I would like to move to admit it. It's been pre-admitted by the court. The court. 182 will be admitted. Exhibit 182 received. Mr. Morris, thank you. And we can show page 1 of 182, the court. All right, counsel. If you could just pause for a moment. Pause in the proceedings, the court. Counsel, you may proceed. Thank you. Showing you page 1 of Exhibit 182. Do you recognize the individuals in this photograph? Yes. Who are they? Dirk and Dee. And do you see any gang signs here? Yes. What do you see? Dirk dropping wires. And this is a hand in the corner that look like he's slamming rakes. Did I just circle the hand in the corner that you referenced? Yes. Okay. You just said a couple of things that would probably need to unpack. You said that the hand that we see in the foreground here can tell you whose hand those are in a circle. Right. I mean, in a circle. Right here, indicating those hands. Oh, yeah. Whose hands are those? Those Dirk hands. Okay. Focusing on those hands. You said Dirk is dropping the wise? Yeah. Okay. Do the Black Disciples have specific gang signs that they use to communicate disrespect to rivals? Yes. Is another term for rivals ops? Yes. Okay. And you just said that Dirk is, Mr. Steele, Your Honor, objection and leading, court overruled. You said Dirk is dropping the wise. Yes. Can you explain that? If I want your money, they ops. That is what they do. They're the wise. He said, she wrote it wrong. It's basically, he said young money. So I'm going to clear that up. He said basically they dropping young money, not if I want your money. I don't know where the hell she got that one, but you dropped them in as disrespecting them. When you say they ops, are they ops to the Black Disciples? Yes. Why? Generally, they did a lot of wrong to the Black Disciples. They killed a lot of important people. They've killed the gang. 051 has killed a lot of important Black Disciples. Yes. Is it important to disrespect rivals who have killed your rival? Mr. Steele, objection, Your Honor. Court, sustained. Action, next question, Mr. Morris. Sure. The hand to the upper left corner here, do you see this one? Yes. And you said that's dropping the rakes. Yes. What is that? Dropping Jitty. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell. I don't remember what he said at that part, but yeah. Can you explain? Just gangster disciples. It's people that we don't like. So gangster disciples, they're like nowadays rivals to black disciples. Yes. Sort of like Crips and Bloods. I mean, Bloods and Crips. Your Honor, the court. A Los Angeles jury, the reference will be understood. The witness can answer yes or no, or I don't know. Overruled. Witness, yes. Okay. I want to show you another exhibit, Mr. Morris. Your Honor, the court has pre-admitted this exhibit. It is exhibit 156. Court, 156 is admitted, Mr. Morris. Thank you. Question. I want to run this exhibit for you a couple of times, and then we are going to pause it, okay? The video is played, Mr. Morris. Let's run it again.
Say this. I think because every time we cover a trial, that's one of the questions that come up. Like, is snitching worth it for the amount of time you get? I mean, if you just look at the scenario, most people that start snitching mean they're not built for this life. They didn't want to get caught, or they wasn't prepared to get caught. That's why they're telling. So if you put life next to 20, you're going to definitely want the 20. So I think that's really not really a question for real. That's why they tell, because they don't want to do no time. But if you got a chance to do 20 instead of no end date, you know what the answer is going to be to that.
Pause it at 11. Please pause it. All right. Pause it at 11 seconds. You recognize Dirk in this video? Yes. Okay. First off, where do you recognize the location? The corner of 59th and Princeton? Yes. That is Taytown? No, yes, that is Taytown. Question. Is that a significant location for the Black Disciples? Yes. You say Taytown. Is that a block within the Black Disciples like Lamron? Yes. Okay. When we ran the video, did you see any gang signs being thrown? Yes. Okay. What is Mr. Banks doing with his hands? Run it again? Just play it. He's just throwing up OTF. Do you see anybody here throwing up King Von? I just see people dropping. It's supposed to be the rakes. Okay. Yeah, that's what he was saying. I don't know where GD come from, but I just see people dropping the rakes. I see people dropping wires. You stopped it, so I can't. Well, let me ask you this. Is there a specific gang sign that's meant to memorialize King Von? Yes. Who made up that sign? I don't know. Did it exist when you got out of custody? Yes. Okay. Did you learn it from OTF members? Excuse me. Yes. Okay. Is that common for gang members to create gang signs to memorialize significant gang members who have died? Mr. Still relevance, court overruled, witness. Yeah. Are you familiar with, you mentioned OTF already? Yes. What does that stand for? Only the family. When is the first time you heard that term? A long time ago, maybe before it even got bigger than what it is. Okay. Where did you hear about it first? And what did it mean? What did it refer to? So I'm from Lamron, and like before any of that was about, we used to say OTF a long time ago, but it never really went nowhere. Like it never took off. It was just us being young. Was it used in a way to refer to what is now known as Lamron? Yes. But it just never took off at the time. Yes. Was it later popularized? Yes. How? Music. Whose music? Dirk, Keith, Ronald number 9. You are naming other gang members in the south side of Chicago who claimed OTF. Your Honor, this is a far field, I believe, the court. The last question was not, but it could be that we're getting there, Mr. Morris. Yeah, I'm going to court. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just remind you on this, that again, the reason you are hearing this is for the two reasons I've told you a number of times now. One is to show links among the alleged co-conspirators. The other one is to, in the government's view, show a particular motive for the alleged conspiracy. And that is the only reason that you are hearing this evidence. Go ahead, counsel. Mr. Morris. Thank you, Your Honor. I want to shift gears to the individual that you referred to as Didi. Yeah. Is that Mr. Wilson? Yes. Okay. Mr. Morris, let's put up 165. Put up exhibit 165 in front of you there. Do you recognize who is depicted in that photo? Yeah, that is Didi. He appears to have a chain around his neck. You see it? It appears to say V-Roy. Yes. Do you know the significance of that term, V-Roy? Yeah. That is Von. Like, he put his best friend was T-Roy which is another black disciple that was killed. So he started calling himself V-Roy to represent his best friend. Okay. Before you testified here today, did you review a video? Yes. Okay. Did that video depict Mr. Wilson walking in the area of the South Side of Chicago? Yes. In this photo, he has a sweatshirt that appears to say Tay-Town? Yes. Is that the intersection that we were looking at before in a previous exhibit that you referenced? Yes. And that exhibit 164, did you recognize the area he was walking in? Yes. What area was that? It was Tay-Town, Mr. Morris. Your Honor, 164, I believe, is already in evidence. Can we play 164? The court. You may publish it. Oh, just in that regard, though, ladies and gentlemen, in regard to exhibit 164, and this is being admitted solely against Mr. Wilson, not the other two defendants. I mentioned to you last week that there would be some evidence that would be admitted for a limited purpose, and this is such an occasion. In the jury room, if you choose to consider exhibit 164, it should only be in regard to Mr. Wilson and nobody else. Go ahead. Mr. Morris. Thank you, Your Honor. The video is played. Just pause the video. Are you familiar with the function on Instagram called Instagram Live? Yes. Is that a function where the individuals can broadcast? Mr. Still, I'll just object to leading, Your Honor. I understand what it is, but it's constant, the court. Here, it's just, look, there's no real dispute on this, Mr. Still. It's just for the benefit of the jury, Mr. Morris. Can I ask him to explain it in an open-ended way? I'm just trying to move through it, Your Honor. The court. Anyway, the objection is overruled, and you may ask the question: is Instagram Live a function on Instagram where an individual can start a video and broadcast it to all of their followers? Yes. Okay. Mr. Morris, you can play it. The video is played. I have a few questions for you about that video. Did you recognize the general area where folks were walking in? Yeah. Where is that at, Tay-Town? You said Tay-Town? Yes. Okay. And you don't have to say who the people were, but did you see other Black Disciple gang members? Yes. Okay, there's a term used, pop out, appearing to tell people to pop out. What does that mean? Like, come outside. Okay, come outside for what? Whatever it could be. There was also a comment about sent at the court. The witness was, Mr. Morris, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. The court. The witness was finishing his answer. Mr. Hester, you can finish your answer. The witness. I would say it could be multiple things. Pop out can mean just come kick it. Pop out can be like telling your ops, what's up, come outside. You know, anything. And there was something about, I'm sorry, however you choose to use it. There was something about sitting that low. Yeah. What does that mean? Like basically show us where you at. Tell us where you at. Speaking to the ops? Yes. This is just a yes or no question. Do you know Mr. Wilson to be a leader in Tay-Town? Yes. In this video that we just watched, can you tell if this, when did you get out of prison in that long stretch that we talked about? February 28, 2022. Okay, that is when you went to prison between the age of 18 all the way up until February of 2022? Yes. And looking in that video, can you tell whether this video would have been after you got out of prison? Yeah, that was after. How do you know? Because Didi don't have no hair no more in here. I mean, Tay-Town wasn't a thing before I went to prison. And some of the things certain people went to have around. Question. What was the last thing you said? Some of the things some people got on, like Breezo, like those shoes or stuff. Like I've been around him when he had that on. Got it. So you recognize some clothing that you saw when you were out of prison? Yeah, understood. Let's talk about that period of incarceration. You said from the age of 18, roughly, you went to prison? 17. I was 17 going on 18. Okay, 17 going on 18. Why? What was the charge that you were in for in those 12 years? Attempted murder. Before we talk about that, actually, are you familiar with someone named Antonio Jones, aka Booney Mo? Yes. Mr. Morris, Your Honor, Exhibit 9 is being demonstrative. It is just a photo ID of Mr. Jones. Exhibit 9 is admitted. Thank you. Show Exhibit 9, please. Exhibit 9 is in front of you, Mr. Esther. Do you recognize who is depicted in Exhibit 9? Yeah, that is Booney Mo. How long have you known, or when did you first meet? I'll call him Booney Mo. When did you first meet Booney Mo? Like 05, 06, when you were pretty young. Yeah. Okay. Was he also gang related? Yes. What gang? Black P Stone. Is that a gang that is friendly with Lamron, or was? Yes. Okay. Is he a leader in that gang? Yes. Do you know his relationship? How would you characterize his relationship with Mr. Banks from that period where you were out of custody? That was close. What about DeAndre Wilson? How would you characterize the closeness of their relationships from that period when you were out of custody?
I would say shout out to Seti Nash for him to be in court all day, okay, do his content breakdowns and reading all these transcripts. Shout out to him. I didn't have the transcript part when I used to do. I just had to read my notes. Shout out to him. Okay. So we're going to let you slide with the yarns because we know you're tired.
That was close. Everybody call it brothers. Brothers, yeah. Do me a favor. Keep your voice up just a little bit, please. If you need to move the microphone, feel free to do that closer to your face. So you said that both of these individuals were like brothers to Mr. Banks. Yeah. Okay. Now, you said that you were incarcerated for this attempted murder charge. Did that have something to do with Booney Mo's block? Yes. The crime that you committed? Yes. Okay. And while you were in custody for those 12 years, did you keep in contact with gang members who were on the outside, still home on the streets? Yes. How did you keep in contact with them? On their phones? Jail calls? Yes. Is it important for a gang member? Is it important for a gang member who was in custody to keep in contact with members who are on the outside? Yes. Why? You want to know what's going on in the streets for multiple reasons. Could be somebody getting killed. You want to know the homie. You want to know what ops potentially can land in a location with you. You want to know what is going on. You don't want to be in the dark about stuff. You don't want to be behind to what's going on. Can those ops who are outside also at some point become locked up or incarcerated? Yes. Is that another reason why you want to know who the ops are? Yes. Were you familiar with someone even before you went into custody for a period of time? Were you familiar with somebody named Davon Bennett, aka King Von? Yeah. And when did you first come to Mr. Morris? Well, actually, can you put Exhibit 148 on the screen, please? Showing you Exhibit 148. Who's in that photograph? That is Von. And he appears to be wearing a chain that says OTF. You see that? Yes. Was he a member of was he an OTF member? Yes. And there's a chain under that chain. It says O. You see that? Yes. Okay. Mr. Morris, Your Honor, the government offers Exhibit 154. It's a photograph of an O block. The court, 154 is admitted. Exhibit 154 received. Mr. Morris, do a side-by-side showing you Exhibit 154 side-by-side with Exhibit 148. What are you seeing on the right side of the screen? Parkway Gardens? Yes. Is that otherwise known as O block? Yes. Is that a block or a clique within the Black Disciples? Yes, it is. Did you know who King Von to be a black disciple in the clique of O block? Yes. Okay. I want to talk about kind of how you first knew of him. So you first met him before you went into custody on the attempted murder charge? Yeah, a long time ago. What was the context of that? Of those interactions? Really nothing. I just knew who he was more because of his sister than him. But I knew who he was. I knew him. Were you trying to talk to his sister at that time? Yeah. Okay. And then you end up going to prison? Yes. Before you went to prison, was King Von a black disciple from O block? Yes. Okay. Was he a prominent member or just kind of just any old member? Just any? He was just one of the shorties. Be with T. Roy now. When you say shorties, do you mean younger gang members? Yeah. When you say T. Roy, is that individual that you indicated King Von inherited his name from? Yes. Okay. And while you were in custody for that 12-year stretch, did you eventually reconnect with King Von? Yeah. Can you tell us about that? So when I was in Marna prison, I was around the other guys, and he ain't in the same gang as me, but somebody that we all know named Boona. And Boona was and calling Von on the phone, like talking to Von, and he came one day just like, man, Von said, why you don't call his phone? Hit him up. He said, give you the number. So you got a message that King Von wanted to talk to you. Yeah. Did you end up talking to him while you were in custody? Yeah. Okay. At that point, while you were in custody and talking to him, can you approximate for us what year it was? Like 2019, something like that. Okay. And like to be around him that time. By that time, you kind of talked to him in 2019 while you were still in custody. Had Mr. or had King Von sort of prominence? Did he have a name by there? Yes. Okay. Was it a significant name in the Black Disciples? O Block? Yes. Was he a prominent gang member in O Block? Is that fair? Yes. Okay. Mr. Steele, asked and answered. The court. In a leading, sustained. What was the conversation like? The court. The answer is stricken. The jury will disregard it. Go ahead, Mr. Morris. What was that conversation like? Oh, the court. Are you still asking for the Mr. Morris? Yes. The details of the conversation. Mr. Steele, he'll stay. The court sustained. Mr. Morris. It's not for the truth, Your Honor. It's established the relationship or the lack of relationship. The court. You have established the relationship. Counsel, move on. Okay. Were you close to King Von? No. Ever? No. That conversation that you had with King Von, did you continue to have multiple conversations with someone who was close with you while you were in custody? Say that one more time. Were you close with him while you were in custody? Was I close with him while I was in custody? Yes. No. Okay. So what about Mr. Banks? Did you keep in contact with Mr. Banks? Yeah. Okay. Just so we're clear, before you went into custody, how would you characterize your closeness with Mr. Banks? Were you close? Were you just acquaintances? How would you characterize that? He was just one of the guys. I mean, he wasn't really my circle I hung with. One of the people that was older than me. I mean, bro was making songs for the parties, you know. I mean, we meet each other, but it wasn't like no everyday hangout, nothing like that. See each other, shake up, what's up, just that. Did you say that he wasn't really in your circle? No. Is that what you just said? He was not in your circle? Yes. Okay. And so when did you first get in contact with Mr. Banks? While you were still in custody? So my baby mom, Mr. Steele, hearsay, Mr. Morris. It's the defendant's statements in any event, Your Honor. The court. Excuse me? Mr. Steele. Didn't sound like that. The court. You asked when. So ask that question again so Mr. Hester can understand what it is that you're asking. Mr. Morris, sure. The court. You can ask him when, just don't ask. Sure. Ballpark it for us. What year did you first talk to Dirk Banks while you were in custody? Maybe like 2012, 2013. All right. And again, you can ask Mr. Banks and said in conversation, but just not anybody else. That was the point that Mr. Steele was making. Mr. Morris, understood, Your Honor. Question. Did you learn that Mr. Banks had placed money on or had given money to your attorney? Yes. Okay. Did that cause you to have conversation with Mr. Banks? Yes. How much money did he get to your lawyer as far as you know? $1,000? Was that expected or that was unexpected? It was unexpected. Why? I mean, I ain't asked for it. And like I said, we ain't have a super close relationship like that for him to do that. I mean, I would expect that from other people who I was close to. But yeah, so when he did.
So am I missing something? Why did he bring Jam into the mix? Was it because he was known to be a hitter or what? Because that, like, you basically brought your downfall into the mix just out the blue? Or we just ain't heard that part yet?
It was surprising. So let me ask you this. While you were still on the streets, do you have any reason to believe that Mr. Banks knew that you had a reputation for violence? Mr. Steele, I'm going to object to that, Your Honor. Court, it's sustained. Question. Did Mr. Banks write songs where he talked about your murders? Yes. Okay. Do you believe that he understood you had a reputation for violence because he talked about it in songs? Objection, Your Honor. The court. All right. The objection is sustained. If it's relevant, you can make the point and close an argument. Okay. So you learned that he's putting money on that he gave money to your attorney. That creates a communication relationship between the two of you? Yes. And tell us about that. How often did you talk while you were in custody? It went from here and there till we started talking a lot. Did he ever put money on your books? Yes. How much? Like altogether? Can you just give us an example? Are we talking thousands, hundreds? What are we talking about? It was different. It was different times. I mean, it went from 50 to 100 to a couple hundred to 1,000 like that. Can you give us an understanding of how, like, is $30 and $100 worth the same amount of money outside as if it is in prison? No. Can you explain that? stuff in jail and prison, like it's cheaper, so it go a longer way in prison. Is it important that you have? It's important to have money on your books so you can buy stuff. Mr. Still, objection leading. I mean, I know every question the court sustained. Counsel, it is. I can ask them why. It's appropriate for you to ask why someone in prison would need money, but just do it without leading the witness. Fair enough. Your Honor, thank you. Do you know Mr. Banks was personally putting that money on your books, or did you come to know that someone else is putting money on your books on his behalf? Mr. Still, objection. Court overruled. The witness. He was having somebody else do it. He did it himself a few times, but mainly through Jason. Is that Jason Smith? Yes. How did you know Jason Smith was involved with putting money on your books? Because when you get a Western Union slip through the mail, it had a person's name on it. And like other times when I would call and ask for money, Dirk would just tell me, call Jason. Tell Jason to do it. Tell him I said do it. Would you do that? Would you call Jason? Yeah. Did there come a time while you were in custody that you learned that Mr. Banks was shouting you out in songs? Yes. Tell us about that. The first time I was in Centralia and other inmates, like every time they would see me, they like just say, free my nigga Jam, get him out that jam. And I didn't know. I just thought people was just saying that because my name Jam. But older guys I was messing with. Key, I had bought Dirk tape. I think it's called Life Ain't No Joke or something. But he had a song on there called Times. And in that song, that's what he say. He say, free my nigga Jam, get him out that jam. And I heard it. So I knew that it was where it came from. One of your nicknames is Jam, J-A-M. That's my only nickname. Only nickname. Okay. Are you familiar with the song by Mr. Banks called Back Again? Yeah. Okay. Mr. Morris. Your Honor, the government moves to admit 395, which has been pre-admitted by this court. 395 is admitted. I'm going to play this through and ask some questions about it. You've heard that before? Yes. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about some of these lyrics. It begins, blast his ass. I don't even ask when it comes to cash, catch him. Blast his ass. Jam, get out that jam. Give him 50. Ain't going to ask again. Is that in front of you? Jam, get out that jam? Yes. And I gave him 50. How do you understand that? Like $50,000 money, cash. And Mr. Bank continues, he was catching murders way back when. Is that you? Yes. And then he continues, the court. Mr. Morris, please ask the witness whether he believes it is referring to him. Yes, Your Honor, the court. And ask him why he believes that, not what is in Mr. Banks' mind. Yes, Your Honor. Do you believe that was referring to you? Yes. Why? I mean, he said my name. Ain't no other Jam. And then he say he was catching murders way back when. Oh, hold on. Let me pause this, y'all. I mean, he said my name. Ain't no other Jam. And then he say he was catching murders way back when. That's when the Max was in. Max is a gun that I was known to carry. Murder with it. When I was younger, before I went to prison. That was just my choice. And a lot of people knew that. So that is why I feel he's talking about me. Now, would you say that while you were in custody, Mr. Banks was particularly supportive of you? Yes. Can you explain that? I mean, when you go to jail, it's like it's your loss. If I'm going to be honest, to me, and people forget about you. I ain't gonna lie, he didn't do that. He stayed in touch with me. He made sure that I was straight. He changed his number. He made sure my mama had it, you know? He talked to me even when he was busy and only had a couple of minutes. He still picked up his phone. Did you appreciate that? Of course. At some point, you got out of prison. Yes. You said that was in February of 2022? Yes. Okay. Once you got out of prison, did you have any clothes when you first came out? Did you have any clothing? Yes. Okay. Were you given clothing? Yes. By who? Dirk done brought me some clothes, and Jason gave it to my mom for me. Can you explain that? I had talked to Dirk on the phone. I told him, like, I was basically coming home to nothing. Like, I ain't got no clothes. I ain't got nothing. And he's like, yes, you do. You got us. You come home with us. And I told him I needed some clothes. And he was like, he was going to have Jason pick me up some stuff. Like, call Jason and tell Jason your sizes. Did you do that? Yes. And was clothing delivered to you when you got out of prison? Yes. High-end clothing or just regular clothing? No, it was designer stuff, high end. And did you eventually, when you got out of prison, at some point, did you meet up with Mr. Banks and OTF? Yes. Mr. Steele, I object to the term OTF. The court. All right. The objection that is compound and sustained. Ask Mr. Banks and then ask about OTF. Did you meet up with Mr. Banks and was he present with OTF members when you met up with him? Yes. Have you been talking about Jason Smith during your testimony? Mr. Morris, Your Honor, the government moves to admit, if it's not already admitted, Exhibit 112, which is a photograph of Mr. Smith. The court, wait a moment. 112 is admitted. Mr. Morris, thank you. Publish can 112. Show you Exhibit 112. Do you recognize who was in the photograph? Yes. Who is that? That is Jason. Is he holding a photograph of someone? Yeah, of Vaughn. Mr. Morris. And Your Honor, question. When you met up with Mr. Banks, were photographs taken of you in the group? Yes. Okay. Mr. Morris, Your Honor, the government moves to admit Exhibit 113, which is a collage of those photographs. Court. Let's let the witness tell us what it is, Mr. Morris. Exhibit 113 is admitted, 113 received. Mr. Morris, yes, Your Honor. Publish 113, please. Mr. Hester, you recognize this photograph I'm showing you? Yes. Okay. Do you remember how long you had been out of custody? Is this when you were out of custody? Yes. Do you remember how long you had been out of custody when this photograph was taken? Not that long, like maybe I don't know, like 5 days, a week, something like that. Not that long, though. A couple of days. I'm not sure, but it wasn't that long. Where were you given this photograph was taken? This was Detroit. How did you get there? A driver, Sam, took me. Boogie and Wop to meet Dirk. You said a driver named Sam took you, Boogie, and Wop? Yeah. Okay. We'll talk about who Boogie is a little bit later. Okay. But you end up meeting with Mr. Banks. First of all, can you identify the individuals in this photograph? Yes. For my left is me looking at the screen. To my left is Twin. Then there's Didi. Then there's me. Then there's Dirk, Lil Cuz, and Wop standing behind. Boogie on the side of him. Okay. So this person you indicated is Didi. Yes. Okay. And what is he doing with his hands? Dropping rakes. Disrespecting Gates' disciples. Yes. Who is this individual here on the far left indicated? Twin. Twin. Yeah. Is that an OTF member? Yes. Okay. And obviously this is Mr. Banks. Yes. What is he doing with his hands? OTF. And who is this individual here indicated? My cousin Wop. Wop. Yeah. Can you spell that name for the court reporter? Is it W-O-P? Yeah, W-O-P. Thank you. And who is this individual here? Boogie. Do you know Boogie's real name? Asa Houston. Okay. Did he participate in the murder of Xavier Robinson with you as well? Yes. What was his role? The driver. Okay. Mr. Houston, and I'll call him Boogie. Was Boogie a gang member also? Yes. What gang? Boogie. Was GD. And that's important because you remember they said that Lil Durk said kill all GDs, but obviously you rolling with one, so it is what it is. A gangster disciple? Yeah. How was it that he was hanging out with these other people? Because he grew up around, like, where they from? Off Green. It's like Boogie's energy right here. He grew up with D-Thing in them, so we ain't look at them. They was GD. We ain't look at them like no ops or nothing. Just so we understand, Boogie grew up around you guys? No, Boogie didn't grow up. He grew up around D-Thing. Grew up around D-Thing. Is that Mr. Banks' brother? Yeah. Okay. So he was close with your group for that reason? Yeah. You're saying? Yeah. Was he an OTF? Did he claim OTF? Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Morris, I want to go to page 5, please. Showing you page 5 of Exhibit 113. What are we looking at here? Me and Dirk on stage in Miami. Is that a club? Yes. Okay. Were other members of OTF there at the time? Yes. Mr. Morris, let's go to page 3, please. Showing page 3 of the same exhibit. There's an individual to the far left of this photograph standing up. Do you recognize that person? Yeah, that's Duty Low. Duty Low. Yes. Is his real name David Salisbury? Yes. Okay.
Oh, that's a lot going on. For those who just tuning in, we are listening to my boy Seti Nash read the transcripts from OTF Jam testimony from yesterday, okay? Because We got caught up, but now we get to actually hear what was actually said verbatim, okay? Once we finish this, we'll move back into today. But yes, this is the testimony for OTF Jam from yesterday, okay? Duty Low has now entered the conversation. Remember, I told y'all on the live last night and on the videos that Duty Low, according to the government, is co-conspirator for, okay?
Members of OTF there at the time? Yes. Mr. Morris. Let's go to page 3, please. Showing page 3 of the same exhibit. There's an individual to the far left of this photograph standing up. Do you recognize that person? Yeah, that's Duty Low. Duty Low. Yes. Is his real name David Salisbury? Yes. Okay. Did you know he grew did you grow up with Duty Low like the others? Or did you meet? Nah. I met him when I got out of jail. Who did you meet him through? Did I meet him through? Yeah, who introduced you to him? I mean, he kind of introduced himself. But when I went around Dirk and them, he was there. Got it. Moving on to page 6. Showing you page 6 of the same exhibit. You are depicted in this exhibit or this page. Yes. Okay. Do you know where you were at the time when this photograph was taken? At another club. I ain't sure what, but it was a club, I think. Maybe this was in Miami too. I ain't sure. Okay. This would have been before the murder of Mr. Robinson, though, right? Is that right? Yes. Okay. And there's an individual here indicating in a gray sweater. I just circled him to the far left. Do you know who that is? That's Cuz. You knew him as Cuz? Cuz, Vonnie. You said Vonnie. Yeah. When did you first meet Cuz? When I first went around Dirk and them for the first time. When you first started being around Dirk? Yeah. Do you remember the first time it was that you saw him? Like exactly? Or what was the circumstances? We was getting ready to, I think it was like a show or something. I remember him coming in. He had 2 bags of money. Like if he was wanting to get blood money for him from like the venue people, because it was like 2 bags of money and he barely could carry them. He put them down in front of blood unzipped them. And it was just like, damn, that's a lot of money. And I asked him how much money it was. And yeah, that was my first time being around him. Use the word venue. Did you mean a concert venue? Yeah. So the first time you saw Cuz, he was carrying a big bag of money. Yeah, 2 of them. Did you have an understanding as to whose money that was? That was blood money. Okay. Use that term a couple of times. Blood. Who are you referring to when you say blood? My bad, Dirt. Is that something you called? Yes. Mr. Banks? Yes. Do you have an understanding of why that nickname existed? It came while I was in jail. Still. Hearsay, then, Your Honor. Court sustained. Okay. So how did you what was Mr. Do you know his name to be Kayvon Grant? Cuz? Yeah, I do now, but I didn't know it then. Okay, but you understood Mr. Going back to Mr. Banks, his nickname to be Blood, correct? One of them. One of them. Was the term used, blood, within OTF to describe Mr. Banks? Banks? Yeah. Is that what you guys called him? Yes. All right. And now getting back to Cuz, did you know his real name to be Kayvon Grant? Yeah, I do now. Okay, you do now. Yes. Okay. What was his role within OTF as you understand it? Like I said, I just see him handling blood money a couple of times. But other than that, it was like him always giving me guns wherever we at and cars. Okay, so let's unpack those 2 things. He provided you with firearms? Yes. Did you know if those firearms are coming from him or were they coming from someone else? If you don't know, that's okay. I mean, I can't necessarily say where they came from, but I know every time, like, Mr. Steele, objection, Your Honor, overruled. Continue your answer. Speculation. You can continue your answer. Mr. Sir, I'll strike it if it's appropriate to do so, but give us your answer, the witness. So wherever we go, wherever we at, and no matter what state we in, Dirk always told Cuz to give me a gun. Get you jam a gun? Yeah. Were you present for those conversations? Yeah. It would be in my face. Did you have an understanding as to why Mr. Banks, everywhere you went, wanted you to have a gun? Objection, cause for speculation. Overruled. Prosecution. He know I use it. You know how to use it. You said? I said protection, and he know I'll use it. He knows that you will use it? Yeah. Did you get the impression that Mr. Banks encouraged you to be aggressive at that time? Objection, Your Honor. Let's find out why. 404A, overruled. Did you get the impression? Yes. The court. Answer the question, Mr. Hanson. Can you explain or give us an example? When we was in Miami, it was a dude around us, and he was looking at me like he was like kind of jittery acting. I didn't know who he was, so I asked him who he was. I asked him, who was he? And he told me he was one of Tory Lanez artists. And I basically told Dirk afterwards, having to ask the dude who he was, like I told him, I'm going to start robbing. I'm going to start robbing these goofies coming around us. Like, they got all this jewelry and I ain't got jewelry. And Dirk like, that's what I'm talking about. That's the gem I've been waiting on. That's the gem I've been waiting on. Yeah. Okay, so let's unpack a little bit of what you said. You said you were at a location in, Your Honor, can we approach the court? You may. And ladies and gentlemen, you can stand and stretch the court, Mr. Still. Mr. Still, Your Honor, I presume this testimony is about to be that Dirk Banks encouraged this gentleman with this to commit armed robberies. I never heard, Your Honor, your court permit this. The court, it was the specific example that you're bringing up here, Mr. Morris. The upshot of this is our testimony. The case is that Mr. Banks was keeping securing the loyalty of Mr. Hester and encouraged him to be violent once he got out of custody. The clerk, excuse me, Judge. Some of the jurors need to use the restroom. The court, all right. Let's start again at 2:55. You are, and then we'll take another short break between then and 4:30. Ladies and gentlemen, can you be ready? Be soon here no later than 2:55, and don't discuss the case or investigate the case. Thank you. The jury retired from the courtroom. All right, we can continue to discuss. All right, go ahead. Now, around this time, bro, this is when the photo had dropped, and yeah. Go ahead. Yes, our theory of the case is he used Mr. Hester to commit acts of violence just like he did in the Los Angeles murder. Once Mr. Hester got out of custody, he encouraged Mr. Hester to carry a gun and use it, if necessary, to rob people and to be generally aggressive. The court. I now understand where you are going, to rob people. I think you have a major point. He's done this. I thought that it was going to be much more milder than this. So the objection is sustained. And you've established this, and you will stay clear of it. Likewise, I understood that it's what your theory is, but likewise, it's just really speculation on his part as to what Mr. Banks would have known, especially when he was in prison, which is why I sustained the early objection. So likewise here, for different reasons, of course, this is 404B or not 404B. So the objection is sustained. You've established that to a witness. He felt that. Mr. Morris, I understand. I can move on. Mr. Banks was encouraging him to be aggressive. Mr. Harbaugh, Your Honor, we would just ask, because this came out of left field, that we need to clarify this again. We raised 404B notice objection. They are continuing to smuggle in, and they have done it from the beginning of this case. They continue it from their exhibit list. This is unacceptable. Again, this adds to the basis for severance that we had sought. And now we are leaning mid-trial new 404B evidence. So the government needs to lay it all out now before we are moving for a mistrial, because it's unacceptable. It bleeds over to Mr. Wilson. The court, all right. Is there anything else here, counsel, that could possibly be construed as Rule 404B? Mr. Morris, I don't believe so, other than what we discussed off the record and other than things this court has let into evidence, like sliders provided Mr. Grant. Mr. Hester was sliders, and I'll just say this is strictly intertwined from the government's position. The court, look, but the point isn't whether I'm just saying it's not 404B. The court, it's something on which there should have been notice. I clearly did not understand that there was going to be talk about some other armed robbery. So you really just have got to be candid with everyone if you're going to make intelligent rulings. Yes, Mr. Still? Mr. Finland. It's Mr. Finland, Your Honor. I just want to say, the court. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Finland. Mr. Finland. No pun intended with this witness stole the words from me. This court has gone through painful efforts to vet all 404B issues, balance them against 403. We spent a lot of late nights, both sides, writing back and forth to submit our briefs. And to just get sprung on this, raising, we may not know it. The name of somebody famous that we didn't know, we could have used during jury selection. This is Tory Lanez, is a famous guy that is in jail now. You know, it's just a lot of this is really prejudicial. I would like the jury to disregard what they just heard. You would think if we're going to raise a famous person that I would understand got convicted within the last few years here in Los Angeles for violent acts in front of this jury, you would have told us because we would have told you, Mr. Morris. Your Honor, we just view that differently. The upshot is that Mr. Banks told Mr. Hester that this was a gem I have been waiting for. In other words, waiting for him to come out and to be this person. And he deployed that person to Los Angeles to commit a murder and settle a beef. The court. That part about the reason the lyric came in, this, like I said, as long as the jury understands that it is his belief and why, that is something else. That is encompassed on him. So the specific request to tell the jury to disregard it is no, but just move on. Mr. Morris, understood, Your Honor. I'll move on. Ms. O'Connell, for the record, a curative instruction too, Mr. Finley. Your Honor, you should know going to this point. Court, I'm sorry, Mr. O'Connell, what exactly is the curative instruction that you would want? The curative instruction would be that Mr. Banks is not on trial for any armed robberies or court. Well, it didn't actually say the armed robbery. I mean, in front of the jury. I don't think the jury heard that. Mr. O'Connell, I heard it. Okay. Yeah. He said he encouraged him to rob this person. Actually, that's really not what he said, but it is kind of what he kind of alluded to, but I get what she said. Okay, well, I will strike that and I will tell them not to do it, Mr. O'Connell. And curative instruction, yes, Mr. Finley. Your Honor, the point of my colleague's cross-examination, and I know there is a few 30-something 302s, this incident is not, as I recall, in any of the 302s, and so it's just not something in day 4 or 5 that we would expect to come out of left field. I don't think the government can rationalize why they didn't let us know so we can vet those issues. Only I say that because, again, Your Honor, has gone through tremendous effort to try to court. Mr. Finley, you don't need to say that, Mr. Finley. You know, but we have vetted these issues. The court. Yes, Mr. Morris. Mr. Morris. I wanted to say this is not 404B, as I've indicated. We view it as inextricably intertwined. It has been long discovered to counsel. He has told this during almost every one of the 30 interviews that they've brandied about. And also under 403, Your Honor, these men are being accused of stalking and murder. He's going to testify, Mr. Hester, that Mr. Banks was trying to kill or trying to encourage O-Block to kill Mr. Quando Rondo. I think the 403 analysis is a big picture analysis, the court. That falls within the conspiracy and the other thing does not. Okay, understood. Mr. Still, Your Honor, as we leave your bench, this is scripted to my view. Maybe it's not, but Mr. Hester and the prosecutor had this discussion. We should have included, and it's not to the 302s, and it's in how do you unwind this. So I'm respectfully, I don't want to do this, but I'm respectfully asking the court to consider over this break a mistrial because I don't know what curative instruction you give, Mr. Harbaugh. Mr. Wilson joins in the court. All right, Mr. Harbaugh, and moving for a mistrial? Court. All right, I don't believe that Mr. Steele specifically made the motion. He says more that it's something to be considered. If you are specifically making the motion, okay, Mr. Steele, are you making the motion or not? Mr. Steele, yes. The court. All right, then fine. All right, Mr. Harbaugh, we are joining. The court. All right, you're joining. Is Mr. Lindsay joining the motion? All right. Yeah, Mr. Steele. He's a wonderful prosecutor, but it comes from them. This is like the witness blurted this out, and the witness, this is choreographed. I wouldn't have done that. And it's not for the prosecutor to say, well, it's intrinsic. It's 403 analysis. I did come in the case late, but I read a lot, and it was painful. It was a painful decision because the court severed the case. Mr. Morris, this is not necessarily grounds for a mistrial, Your Honor. He didn't even say that he robbed him. If he were allowed to continue, he would say, I didn't rob him. And so that is the fact of the matter as we know it, the court. That has nothing, that might reflect on the witness, but it doesn't really reflect on Mr. Banks. But in any event, what I'm going to do is tell the jury to disregard any testimony about him being encouraged to act aggressively. Anything that was said in that regard should be disregarded. And I remind them that Mr. Banks, and for that matter, all 3 defendants are only on trial for the events which are alleged in 5 counts of the indictment. Mr. Morris, fair enough, Your Honor. Thank you. Mr. Still, can we take a couple more minutes rather than 2:55? All right, you can take Mr. Harbaugh. Your Honor, I do also have to address this issue with 164. We got notes last night. The government knows and misrepresented to the court that the video demonstrated Mr. Wilson claiming to be a murder man. And as the government knows, they glossed over it, that he's referring to me and murder man. And this witness knows, has identified the government, that he did not provide a transcript nor in advance. We moved to strike that entire the court. Well, that we will have to discuss it at another time. I can't make that ruling right here now. So, Mr. Morris, I think I know what he's referring to. The court. Discuss it and we'll discuss it later, Mr. Morris. Okay, thank you, Mr. Still. Do I have a few more minutes, Your Honor? The court. What's that, Mr. Still? Did you say we gotta? I just want to run to the bathroom. The court. Yes. You still got some minutes before 2:55. Let's get going. The court. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. All 15 of you are here. Before your break, there was some testimony about an individual in Miami, and in general, a question about whether this witness had been encouraged to act in an aggressive manner. That testimony was stricken, and you are ordered to disregard it. And in general, I just want to remind you that Mr. Banks and Mr. Wilson and Mr. Lindsay as well, of course, are on trial here for what is alleged in the indictment. The specific crimes that you were heard alleged, in which I instructed you last Friday, nothing else. And to the extent that you hear anything else, I've gone over this many times in regard to OTF and the Black Disciples. It's only to the extent that it helps you if you believe it does. If it doesn't, that testimony in deciding whether the government has met its burden of proving the element of these crimes beyond a reasonable doubt, counsel, you may ask your next question, Mr. Morris. Thank you. If I could publish 113, page 6, please, Mr. Morris. All right, I'm showing you, Mr. Hester, exhibit 113, page 6. You've already identified the individual in the gray sweater as Cuz, correct? Yes. Okay, you mentioned that he provided guns, and then you also mentioned that he provided cars. Yes. What kind of cars? Like hot cars, stolen cars. Did you say hot cars? Yes. Okay. And are these hot cars that he provided, also known as sliders? Yes. Okay. Before we get into that, is the term that is used among Black disciples to slide, what does it mean to slide? Yeah, it's a Chicago thing, but sliding is like basically committing shooting, murder. A slide on your ops, pulling up on them. Is it typical to use a stolen car when sliding on your ops? Yes. Are those also called hot cars, as you just said? Yes. You were said Mr. or Cuz provided hot cars? Yes. And sliders? Yes. When you were in OTF, let me ask you this. Did there come a point when you had gotten out of prison and you were hanging around individuals who identified as OTF members? Did there come a point where someone had a conversation with you about what's really going on in OTF? Yes. Who? Dirk did. What did he talk to you about? So we was at a studio. We was having a conversation amongst multiple of us. Dirk pulled him to the side. And let me stop you for a second. Your Honor, can I lead through this part? Court. I'm sorry, counsel. Please repeat. Tell me what the question was. Question was, did there come a time when Mr. Banks had a conversation with him about what was going on in OTF? The court. Yes, I've heard that. Yes, you may lead here unless I hear an objection, and then I will rule on that. Objection. Mr. Morris, thank you. Okay. Mr. Banks had a conversation with you. Yes. Did he express dissatisfaction that people weren't sliding for Vaughn? Yes. Okay. Did he tell you that while OTF appeared a certain way, it actually wasn't that way? Yes. Okay. Did he tell you that people were acting Hollywood with OTF? Yes. Did you understand that to mean that people weren't sliding? Yes, and not really. So what the man, bro? Okay, so you can stop there. Stop there. Thank you. Okay, so you mentioned did there come a point where you had discussion with many members of OTF about folks that OTF had beef with? Yes. Okay, did you come to the conclusion that OTF was an organization that had beef with various people? Yes. Did that come as a surprise to you? As many people? Yes. Is it fair to say when you were in custody, you thought OTF was just music? Yeah, that is all me and Blood talked about. That's all you and Mr. Banks talked about while you were in custody. Yeah. All right. The court. Counsel, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to ask the lawyers to approach. I hope this will save us some time later on. Just bear with us a moment at the court. All right, Mr. Morris, again, I didn't hear any objection from counsel or asking. No, this is for a limited instruction, but I see under no theory that the conversation with Mr. Banks could be a co-conspirator statement, and therefore the counsel want a limited instruction that's limited to Mr. Banks? Mr. Mills, yes. Mr. Harbaugh, yes. The court. Okay, next I have to say, I don't know how many times I had to say this to the government. The conspiracy here is not OTF. This is not the second trial. So to some degree, I just don't see where you are going with this on saying OTF was not just a music group. I mean, OTF isn't on trial here. It's not a RICO enterprise. If the conspiracy here is a conspiracy to stalk and kill Mr. Bowman. So I just really just have to ask here, like, I just don't get where you're going with this, except just where do you think you're going with this, Mr. Morris? Mr. Banks is expressing dissatisfaction that OTF was a slider for Vaughn, was not getting revenge for Vaughn. The court, okay, that is where this is going? Then ask him that. Don't set this up as OTF is just a music thing. We've gone through that. OTF is not the conspiracy here. If you want to ask, did he raise dissatisfaction about sliding for Vaughn? Then that is fine. Ask him that. But don't have this wind up where you're trying to deal with OTF. Look, you are the one who chose to indict somebody who arguably had a very great life and be reluctant to throw it all away. So deal with that, but don't deal with it by bringing in all this OTF stuff. That is the reason why I granted the severance. Fuck. Mr. Morris, I'm not trying to eye the court. Well, it certainly sounded that way to me, Mr. Morris. Fair enough. Nigga, and I told people outside the court, I like this judge, bro. He ain't bad. Counsel, you may proceed. Mr. Morris, thank you. Mr. Anderson, are you familiar with the term slide for Vaughn? Yes. Did you learn about that when you got out of custody? Yes. What was your understanding of it? I basically do something for Vaughn getting killed and do something about it. Did you ever talk to Mr. Banks about this quote unquote slide for Vaughn? Yes. Can you tell us about those discussions? He hated it. He ain't like that. People was trolling him. Like say, he only would like Vaughn a lot because people came out slide for Vaughn and it wasn't getting to him, but he didn't like it. Did he express to you why he didn't like it? It was just basically like nobody doing nothing. He just tired of hearing it, you know? That was his homie. That was his little ace and shit. My bad. Did he ever talk to you? Did there ever come a time where Mr. Banks had a conversation with you about Quando Rondo? Yes. First of all, when was this conversation? Like the exact date? Was it after you got out of custody, right? Yeah. And the murder of Mr. Robinson happened in August of 2022, correct? Right. Can you tell us in that window around when this conversation would have been? Maybe a month of me being out, or could have been before that? I'm not really sure, but I'm going to say maybe a month. Where did that conversation take place? Was in Atlanta, in the studio. And was Mr. Banks present? Yes. Was anyone else present for that conversation? Yes. Who? It was me, it was Dirk, it was Dee Dee, it was Will, it was Lil Varney, Duty Low? Yes. Okay, anyone else? And I think it was Twin. Okay, tell us about that conversation. I don't know who, I can't really remember. I mean, I can't remember who initially brought up the trolling stuff, but Blood got to talking about it. And he got to talking about what the rapper 6ix9ine doing, trolling stuff, and people staying on the internet and talking about Slide for Vaughn and how people not doing what they rap about, you know? He basically let us know, like, if a motherfucker catch Quando Rondo or Lil Tim, they're going to be straight. Ain't got to worry about nothing. If motherfuckers catch Quando, Rondo, or Tim, they will be straight. They ain't got to worry about nothing. What does that mean to you? What did that mean to you? Shit. Money-wise, like, you're going to be good. Like, you would be rewarded financially. Yeah. And when you say that you heard him say catch Quando Rondo or Lil Tim, how did you understand catch that to mean? Catch him, mean kill him. Okay, and when he said that, was there do you remember what the reaction was amongst the group? Did you respond? Can you tell us? Give us a little bit of detail? I mean, people was like nodding their head, and I think somebody had said something like, that's like half a ticket or $1 million, like that. And Blood was just like, man, motherfucker don't have to worry about nothing. Okay, like, just want to make sure I understand. You said you think someone in the conversation said that was $500,000 or $1 million? Yeah. Do you remember who said that in? No, I'm not sure. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. And how did Mr. Banks respond? Like, whatever. Motherfucker gonna be straight. Motherfucker ain't gotta worry about nothing. Did you ever talk with Mr. Banks about his use of cell phone application FaceTime? Yeah. Tell us about that. They felt, I don't really know where they get it from, but he felt that FaceTime was the best way to talk on the phone because the FBI, the feds and stuff can't listen in on FaceTime. So your conversation that you had, Mr. Banks, was it mostly FaceTime or was it not at times? Can you give us a sense of that? Yeah, it was the majority FaceTime. What about the conversation you had with others, like Booney Mo, for example, and Mr. Wilson? Did you ever have phone conversations with them? Yeah, FaceTime. FaceTime, yeah. Was that generally the way that you communicated with those individuals when you called them? Mr. Arbol, objection, leading, Your Honor. The court overruled. Ask your question, Mr. Morris.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. A lot of people like conversate like that. I ain't gonna hold. A lot of rappers do that, and I ain't gonna. I had to get you something like, why you just want to call me regular? But that's how it go.
Was that generally the way you would communicate with those individuals using FaceTime? Yes. Okay. Now, you mentioned that Slide for Vine was something that was trolling, as you called it, was something that was frustrated for Mr. Banks, and that's correct. Answer, yes, it was. Okay, have you heard a song where Mr. Banks talks about Sliding for Vine trolling? Yeah. Okay, Mr. Morris, Your Honor, the government is publishing Exhibit 397, which has been admitted to the court. The court 397 has not yet been admitted, but now it is. You may publish it. Okay, the song, it sounds like it begins with, they be on my page, I slide for Vine, I know they trolling me. Did you hear that? Yes. What did you understand that to mean based on your conversations with Mr. Banks? Just basically doing, everybody was always, that's their first comment to say slide for Vine, slide for Vine. That was like they bullying type of way, like to get under the skin. Did you get the impression that this was people online? Yeah. And then he says, get it back in blood. Did you hear that? Yeah. What did that mean to you, get it back in blood? Like revenge. Like somebody bleed when they get shot. Somebody bleed when they get shot up and get killed. Got it in blood. It says, got it back in blood. Y'all just don't know that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Like that is when it's supposed to happen. What do you mean by that? Can you explain that to us? Like when somebody do something to you or somebody you care about, they kill them or shoot them or something. Basically, you just be doing the same thing back to them. And then, I mean, and you know, that's part of the game. That's how it is where we from. Like, that's what we lay by. Get it back in blood. During this time period, again, when you had been released from prison, but before the murder of Mr. Robinson, were you traveling with Mr. Banks and his entourage? Yes. How often did you travel with them? All the time, whenever I wanted to. Okay, and how did you get the locations were these out-of-state locations sometimes? Yes. How did you get those destinations? Get to these destinations, flights. And how would you arrange those flights? Through Jason. Jason Smith? Yes. Okay, Mr. Hester, there's a binder in front of you there. Mr. Morris, unless the court would just allow me to lay the foundation, it's a text message string, Your Honor, between the court. What exhibit are we talking about? It's Exhibit 43, Your Honor. 1 second. Between the witness, Your Honor, between the witness and another individual, any objection to the introduction? 1 moment, Your Honor. It's not being offered for its truth, Your Honor. Demonstrate the relationship. I understand that, counsel. I asked any objection for the purposes which it was. Its admission was just stated, Mr. Arbol. Your Honor, I'm confused. It's 24 pages. I'm sorry, Your Honor. It's 24 pages. It's just move to admit not for its truth, Your Honor. All right. What I would like you to do, counsel, is then we would do this old school. We will have 43 in front of the witness. Tell us what page you want. He can look at a specific text, and then you can ask him questions about that text rather than admit the entry of the exhibit. Yes, Your Honor. Do you have Exhibit 43 in front of you, Mr. Hester? Yes, the court. All right. You may start asking questions, Mr. Morris. Mr. Morris. Yes, Your Honor. So, do you have Exhibit 43 in front of you, Mr. Hester? Yes. Okay. Is that a text message string? Yes. Do you know who that's between? Me and Jason. How do you know? That is Jason's number right here, and that is one of my numbers. I'm sorry. Jason number, the 31218 number. Okay, and I want you to turn to page 5 of that document, please. And let me know when you're there. You see page 5? Yeah. Okay. Do you see yourself sending a text message to Jason? Yeah. Do you see you are referencing Mr. Banks? Yes. Are you referencing authorizing a fight? Yes. Are you indicating that Mr. Banks authorized you to fly? Yes. And are you asking Mr. Smith to purchase a fight? Yes. Okay. Your Honor, we move to admit this page and show it to the jury. You may. But in the future, if you'll just read what it says and then ask the witness what he understood by that, absolutely, Your Honor. Page 5 is admitted. The court obviously read it and then ask him after I've had a chance to review it. It would be, and see if it should be admitted. Yes, Your Honor. At the top of the screen, there's a blue text bubble. Is that you? Yes. You're sending messages that say, Dirk ain't say nothing to you about a fight? Yes. Why are you sending that message to Jason Smith? Because that is how I get my fights. Like I asked Dirk, he told me he going to tell Jason book it or tell Jason to book it. Okay, and you have authorization to have Mr. Jason Smith book you fights without Mr. Banks' approval? No, why not? Objection, speculation, court overruled. That's the court. If you know, Mr. Hester, that's not my money. That is his money and his friend. So you had to tell Jason that Mr. Banks approved it. Is that correct? Yes. Leading is, I'm just summarizing, Your Honor. The objection is sustained. The final answer is stricken. Mr. Morris, you may ask the question again, but in a non-leading fashion. Thank you. I want you to take a look at page 13. Can you turn to page 13, please? Do you have page 13 in front of you? All right, I've reviewed 13. I intend to admit it. Is there any objection? Mr. Steele. Your Honor, maybe have just 1 second. Pause receipts. We understand, Your Honor. All right. Page 13 in exhibit 43 is admitted. You may proceed, Mr. Morris. Thank you. If we could publish 13, please. All right. This is a part of the message between you and Mr. Smith. Yes. Is that you in the blue bubble again? Yes. Does it say a gang? I just told Blood I need to fight to the A. He said, let you know. Is that what you wrote? Yes. Okay. Can you explain what you were doing there? Telling him that I need a flight to Atlanta, that I talked to Dirk about it, and Dirk told me that I'm good. And then you say you follow up with, did you holler at Blood? Did you see that? Yes. Okay. What are you trying to communicate there? Like, basically, did you talk to him? Did you get the okay? And just scrolling down just a bit to the last message on this page. Mr. Smith appears to indicate or ask for when. You see that? Yeah. You understood. How did you understand that to me? Like when you want your flight, what time? Like, when are you going to leave? He did. Did you get multiple fights throughout your time between February 2022 and August 2022? Did you get multiple fights booked for you through Jason? Say it one more time. Yeah. Did you fly multiple times where Jason gave you the ticket? Oh, yeah. Okay, and that was always with the authorization of Mr. Banks? Yes. Okay, and I want to talk to you about the events of October 18th or the events of August 2022. How did you first become involved with the murder of Mr. Robinson? I got a phone call from Booney and them. You got a call from Booney and them? Yeah. Okay. So the jury, my bad. It's okay. Just so the jury is clear, is that kind of Chicago slang to say in them? Yeah. So it would be like multiple, more than one person? Like Michael and them, John and them? Yes. So you said you got a call from Booney Moore and them? Yes. And tell us about that. Where were you when you got the call? I was in the car with my baby mama. We was just coming from dropping my son off, I think, at like practice school, something that had to do with school. I was just dropping him off when I got a phone call. Okay, so it would have been in the early morning? Yeah. Would it be, is that the same day you end up flying out of Chicago to San Diego? Yes. Okay, so it was the same day that you flew out? You get this call? You recall it being early in the morning? Tell me what happens. So Booney called my phone and he like, look, bro, we need to get you on a flight and go to LA. Like, we need you to do it right now. Like me and Blood. And then he basically let me know, like, Dirk was on the other phone. He was just like, Blood, are you there? He like, yeah, I'm here. And they saying, Dirk was saying, Booney was saying that he been calling the people, been calling threatening them not answering the phone, calling them, see why they're not answering. And he told me he would go, but he had to see his parole officer, so he couldn't go. This is Booney Mo talking? Yeah. You mentioned the word Blood. Do you mean you can hear Mr. Banks' voice? Yeah. Did it sound like you were all on a three-way line, or did it just sound like his voice was coming from a separate device? No. He was on the other phone, and Booney said he on the other phone. Blood on my other phone. Hey, Blood, you there? He like, yeah, I'm here. Generally speaking, did you have multiple phones at this time? Yeah, we all did. When you said we all did, who was we all did? Me, Booney, Dirk, a lot of us. The majority of everybody who hung around me had more than one phone. Okay, so you get this phone call. You said you can hear blood in the background. Does Booney tell you anything else? Yeah, he's telling me, like I said, he is telling me that Threat wasn't answering the phone. They would call multiple people trying to get them to answer. See if I can get them to answer the phone. Call their phones. You said Threat wasn't answering. Is that what he told you? Yeah. Is that a nickname for someone? Yes. Who? Didi. Defendant Wilson. Yes. Okay. And so once he told you he couldn't get in contact with other folks, he wanted you to come out. What happened next? So he was saying everything he was saying, but he wasn't really telling me. Like, the only thing he was saying is he needed to hurry up and get on a flight and go to LA, but he's not giving me more than that. And you could kind of tell the way he talking like there was something going on, but he wasn't giving it to me. So when Boogie told me to try to get in touch with Didi and my rappy, which is Boogie, I hung up the phone and I tried to call Durk's phone. And when I called Durk's phone, it rang like once or twice, and Booney called me right back like, what's up, bro? Like, Blood don't want nobody calling his phone who is coming to LA. Okay. So you said Blood don't want nobody calling his phone who's coming to LA. Yes. And what did you understand that to mean? Just, I guess you don't want no contact. You don't want to contact nobody that's coming to LA. Like, you don't want them to call in this call log, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so Booty Mo called you back. What happened next? I just basically just because he like, what's up? Like, what I wanted to know, what I'm saying, and I just brought up the fight again. Like, do Jason know how to book my fight? He like, yeah, call Jason. So I got off the phone. I called Didi's phone a couple of times. I called Boogie, called my cousin Chris, and Didi wasn't answering first. Boogie answered. My cousin Chris responded, and he said he would go, but then turns around and said he couldn't find his ID. Your cousin Chris, his name is William McComb? Yes. And you were saying initially the plan was for Mr. McComb to come with you? Yes. You used another word while you were discussing this portion of your testimony. You said rappy. Is that what you said? Rappy, yeah. You said Boogie is your rappy? Yes. Boogie is Ace of Houston? Yes. What does that mean, rappy? Is this a slang term like that somebody be with all the time and do stuff with all the time? Just, yeah, we say rappy. I don't know where it originally came from, but that's what we use. And you were particularly close with AC Houston during that time period? Yeah, we got close. Okay, so you indicated that you were told to call Jason and called him. Yes. Did you eventually have to have a text message exchange with Jason? Yeah. Was that text message exchange related to your travel? Yes. Can you tell us about that? I sent him my information. I sent him my cousin information. He sent him Boogie information. Then my cousin Chris told me he couldn't find his ID. I let Jason know, and yeah. Okay. Do you have that binder in front of you still? Yeah. Can you turn the tab to 52 in that binder? Should be the same one, 52? Yes. On these sheets or exhibits 52, the court. It's been a minute. Oh, has it? I'm sorry. The court, yes. You can publish it on the screen if you wish, Mr. Morris. Great. It's okay. You don't have to find it, Mr. Hester. Do you see the text message string on your screen right there? Yes. And it looks like the text is William McComb. Do you that? Yes. To Jason Smith? Yes. Why? That's my cousin Chris' name. Okay. And that is at this point on August 18, 2022. The time step is 8:02. Do you see that? Yes. When you text him this through, were you in Chicago? Yes. Okay. So it might have been a different time for you at that time. Yes. You text Mr. William McCone and the next message, it looks like you put a birthday there. Is that right? Yes. Is that Mr. McCone's birthday? Yes. Mr. Morris, scroll down, next page, and it appears at 8:14 a.m. Jason Smith appears to respond with some kind of message. Do you see a thumbnail? I can't really see it. It's little, but yeah. Mr. Morrison, we could publish 52 and 52A side by side, please. Okay. Do you see on your right hand side of the screen, see a boarding pass? Yeah. Okay, and whose name is on it? Do you see your name here? Yes. Okay, is that boarding pass you received from Jason Smith? Yes. Okay, let's go back to 52, please. I don't believe that 52A was previously admitted. It was admitted now. Mr. Morris, thank you, Your Honor. If we can go back to 52, all right. The next message that you send is, where bro shit at? Do you see this? Yeah. Why did you send that, if you recall? Basically, I don't know if it was either Chris or a Boogie fight. Them were the only two people information I sent. So I guess I was asking where either one of the fights was. Okay, and if we could go to the next page, page 3, in response, Mr. Smith appears to say, same confirmation. Did you see that? Yeah. Okay, and what did you understand that to mean? Like the same fight information? Okay. And then in response, it looks like you send a photograph. Is that big enough for you to see? Yes. Okay. Mr. Morris, Your Honor, the government moves to admit this photograph 52B. The court 52B is admitted. Mr. Morris, if we could do a side-by-side on those two exhibits. Okay. Taking a look at 52B, do you recognize what you were sending to Jason Smith? Yes. What were you sending, Boogie? ID. Why? He could book his flight, so he got his information to book his flight. You end up talking to Mr. Houston about going to LA? Yeah. At this point, do you know why you're going to LA? No. Okay. Do you? Not confirmed. Not yet. No. Do you pack any bags to go to LA, or you just kind of get straight to it? Now, I ain't packed no bags. I was told, go to the airport. Like, we need you to get on the flight right now. So it was an emergency. Like, I ain't go back home, pack no bag. It just went to the airport. Okay, if you could go to page 4 of exhibit 52, please. All right, on page 4 of this exhibit, it looks like you say, book it. Book bro shit. The homie Chris said he can't find his ID, gang. Do you say that in your text message? Yes. Okay. What was going on there? That's when my cousin say he couldn't find his ID, so he couldn't go. So I was telling him to book Boogie fight to go with me. And then you indicate it looks like he with me. We on our way to the airport. Did you see that? Yeah. Who is he? You referring there? Boogie. At some point, Boogie would have been with you. I think I just said that. I don't think he was with me. I think he was on his way at the same time, if I ain't mistaken. Mr. Morris. Okay. You can scroll down a little bit to the next page. Okay. And then at 10:21 a.m., at least Pacific time, it appears that Jason Smith sends a message in response. You can see this, Mr. Morris. Your Honor, move to admit 52C, please. It's admitted. If we could publish that side by side, okay. Showing you exhibit 52C does appear this boarding pass that you were sent. Yes. And this time, AC Houston, yes. Now, when you were traveling to, well, let me ask you this. At some point, did you talk to Jason Smith about the precise destination where you would be flying into? Yeah. So he said that because at first they was just saying LA. But when Jason called me, he said, Blood don't want us to fly straight into LA. So we're going to go to San Diego. Did he explain why Blood didn't want to fly straight to LA? No. You were traveling with AC Houston, the two of you? Yes. Did you have any idea whether there would be others that you were going to be traveling from Chicago? I think I got word Didi was coming, but that's it. Okay, did you eventually go to the airport and take a flight? Yes. Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to move to admit. I think it might be already in. 36 is not admitted yet, I believe, but in any event, it is now. Thank you, Your Honor. You see exhibit 36 in front of you, Mr. Esther? Yes. Okay, what are you looking at? Me and Boogie in the airport. Okay. This is timestamp. We're going to skip past a little bit of this because they're just really going through the exhibits of these cats being, in certain shit. So they talk about them getting into an Uber and what's the plan, where they going. They get something to eat. And they went to Hooters. Where were you going to leave immediately? Head to LA where you were staying in San Diego for a little while. Yeah, we were staying. We're staying there because we was waiting on Didi to come. We was waiting on this flight to land. And we was all going to LA together. Someone told you that you were going to be waiting for Mr. Wilson? Yeah, who told you that? I think that was Cuz who told us because I know he had a Sprinter van coming to get us. When were you first in contact with Cuz when you landed? I'm not sure. Okay. But did you talk to him on that day? Yeah. Okay. By the way, in terms of your relation, were you close with Cuz? What was your relationship with Cuz? Just give me guns. Okay. Is he someone that you would have taken orders from? No. If he was someone that would have told you, would have flown you to Los Angeles if he told you to go? No. Why did you say that? I mean, because we don't even got that type of relationship. He ain't nobody. That is Dirk's friend. I won't take orders. Like, who is him to take orders for? He ain't nobody. You say he's nobody, but he provided you with things, didn't he? Yeah. Okay. But you didn't take orders from him, it sounds like? No. Okay, so go. You said you get to the restaurant. Yeah, which one? Hooters. Okay. Who was there? Jason. We finna skip out. We finna get to this part right here. And while you were at Hooters restaurant, you find some more details about why you were in Los Angeles. Yes, I did. Can you tell us about that? We talked to Duty. Duty Low? Yes. Tell us about it. Duty let us know that he got word for somebody at a weed dispensary that Quando and them was coming to buy weed from him, and he was going to kill him. We was going to kill him. You know what I'm saying? We was going to catch him before he got the weed and killed him. Taking a step back around this time, had there been other efforts to locate Quando Rondo that you know of? Yeah, a few things. So that came up before that they had found a location of him where he was from, but it was unsuccessful locating this. It was unsuccessful because you don't have to tell me why. It was unsuccessful. Was it unsuccessful in terms of locating him? It was only successful because you don't have to tell why. Was it successful? No. Okay. But it is accurate to say that you all have been looking for Quando Rondo or open and located him. Objection, vague, court overruled. Okay, so you learned from Duty Low that you are there to kill Quando Rondo because you all had his location. How does that communication come? Is that a phone call? Is that a text message? How does that happen? With Duty. Yeah, FaceTime. Duty FaceTime one of you? Yes. Was it, do you remember if it was you or Mr. Houston? It was one of us. It was just him and me. It probably was my fault. Okay. And did he give any other information? That he was just in tune with them. Like he going to know when Quando and them land, what hotel they going to be in and stuff. So let's unpack that. Duty said that Quando Rondo's hotel, that they knew where he was staying? Yeah. Okay. And you said something about he was in tune with them? No, in tune. Like he's in tune with the dude he was supposed to be selling Quando Rondo weed. Like he was in tune with him. Like dude was telling him their moves, like where they was going to be at and stuff like that. Somebody was providing a location to Quando Rondo. Yes. Okay. And is this the first time you are hearing about that plan? I mean, what the plan was in Los Angeles? Yes. Okay. And your reaction, like initially, something you wanted to do? Is this something that like, what was going through your head? No, it ain't something I wanted to do. I'm just like, damn, like I wanted to get out of this, but I ain't have no way. So I went with the plan. When you say you didn't have any way, did you mean you didn't have any way to get out of this? Yeah. Can you explain that to us? Why was it that you felt you didn't have any way to get out of this? Because where I'm from, you don't stop nobody from killing somebody, bro. That's a no-no that will get you killed. You know what I'm saying? People get mad and kill you, or people will think you are some police and kill you. Like, damn, what are you on? Like, that is just something. It's just something you don't do where I'm from. You don't stop nobody from killing somebody. That will get you killed. Is this Quando Rondo beef? Did you consider that your beef? Hell no, no. Why did you say that? Because, bro, that was some Von getting into it with NBA Youngboy about his homies he's messing with. It was some rap stuff. I'm not in that industry. You know, that's what I'm saying. Them two people are in Chicago. That stuff is going on. That ain't had nothing to do with me. Were you comfortable with committing a shooting in Los Angeles? No. You said that pretty quickly. Can you explain why you have a reaction? Because I'm not from here. Like, if anything was to go wrong, like, I was thinking about at the time, like, if anything was to go wrong, whether we get into a high-speed chase or any of that, like, I don't know where to go. I'm not from here. Like, I don't know these places, you know? Like, if we crash and I get out on a run, where am I going to run to? Like, I don't know nothing about this place. Have you been in situations like that before in Chicago where you're doing some kind of violent act and had to get away from the police? Yeah. And are you saying it benefited you knowing the terrain? Of course. And when I asked you if this was your beef, when I asked you if this Quando Rondo beef was yours, You mentioned that Vaughn had got into it with an NBA person. Yeah, with an NBA YoungBoy. And that had nothing to do with you as far as you were concerned? Man, no. It really had nothing to do with him. He was just around with his homie. Who was him? Vaughn. I'm sorry. So you didn't have anything to do with him being King Vaughn? No. What I'm saying is, you said, did him getting into it with NBA YoungBoy have anything to do with me? And I said, no. It didn't even have nothing to do with him, meaning Vaughn. Vaughn was just riding with his homie. They met a dude and stuff escalated from there. Did you feel like this was something that you personally needed to get back for? No. Why is that? He was a black disciple. You are a black disciple. Why didn't you feel like you needed to get revenge? Yes, he's a black disciple, but he's not a black disciple from my block, so I'm not obligated, and he's not my homie like that. Is not nobody I grew up with, kicked it with. Everything who I got feelings for, like that I got love for, when somebody do something to him, I do want something back. No. Okay, so it sounds like your internal reaction. What did you say in your response to Duty Low saying that you were there to kill Quando Rondo? Nothing. Me and Boogie looked at each other and was just like, all right, okay. So you decided you were going to do it? Yes. Okay. Did you eventually meet up with some other individuals in San Diego who ended up committing the murder with you? Yes. Who? Diddy, Flocka, and CVL Shorty? You say Diddy. Is that Defendant Wilson? Yeah. First, let me talk about the person you referred to as Flocka, Mr. Morris. Your Honor, man, we published demonstrative exhibit 24. It's a photograph of Mr. Jones, the court. All right, you may, when you said demonstrative it is, I take it you want it in evidence, Mr. Morris. If the court would allow, we would admit it in the evidence, Your Honor. This court, if he recognizes the photo, then yes, exhibit 24 will be admitted. Mr. Morris, yes, thank you. Do you recognize who this is in exhibit 24? Yes. Who is that? That's Flocka. Have you met Flocka before you saw him in San Diego? Yes. When did you first meet Flocka? In juvenile hall, yeah. And how long were you in juvenile hall for that particular stint? I don't know. Okay, well, let me ask you this. So you met him in juvenile hall. Were you guys like friends in juvenile hall? Was that was going on? Yeah, I used to do a lot of fighting. And that is how we became cool. Me beating people ass. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Esther. Well, let me ask you this. After you got out of juvenile hall, did you continue to be friends with Mr. Jones? Oh, no. Huh? Okay, did you fall out of contact with him? Yeah. When you saw him in San Diego on August 18, 2022, when was the last time you had seen Mr. Jones? Had it been years? Had it been weeks, months? Can you give us a sense of when the last time I seen Tim? No, because like when I came home from prison, like he was, I started seeing Flocka on Diddy Block. Like he was hanging on Diddy Block. So I was seeing him. You saw him around? Yeah, on Diddy Block. Yeah. Did you guys like talk on the phone, text, anything like that before? No. Before the shooting? No. Do you remember if you had his number saved in your phone at all? No, not at that time. I didn't. Okay. Were you surprised to see him in San Diego? Yeah, I ain't gonna be necessarily say surprised, but I didn't think to see him. No. Okay. And you mentioned you also saw somebody else who you said this a couple of times, the CVL Shorty. Yeah. When you say CVL Shorty, are you referring to Mr. Lindsay? Yeah. Okay. What about Mr. Lindsay? Were you close with him? Were you close to Mr. Lindsay before August 2022? I didn't know him. I never seen him. I didn't see him until that day. That was the first time you met him. Yes. Okay. And in terms of Mr. Lindsay and Mr. Jones, when you got out of prison and started hanging with individuals who claim OTF, were they hanging out with you and guys, Mr. Jones and Mr. Lindsay? Were they in OTF? Like I said, I don't know him. This is my first time. That's my first time seeing him. So no, but like I said, Diddy, Flocka hung out on Diddy Block, but you know, it was to that extent though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hanging out on Diddy Block. Let me ask you this in a different way. When you took trips to spend time with Mr. Banks and other folks who claim OTF, would Mr. Jones be there? No. Would you describe Mr. Jones as someone who was in the inner circle of OTF or the people who claimed OTF at the time? That's Diddy's circle. Diddy circle, yeah. But not someone who you saw hanging around Mr. Banks, no. Okay, so when did you first see Mr. Jones and Mr. Lindsay? Was it at the airport in San Diego? What happened? Yeah. Think they was walking out. Him, Didi, they was walking out the airport together, and we all got in the Sprinter together. Okay, so you got in a Sprinter van. Yeah. Okay, so who was all in the Sprinter van together? Me, Boogie, Didi, Faka, CVL Shorty. And again, Faka is Mr. Jones, and the person you are calling CVL Shorty is Mr. Lindsay? Yeah. So you are all in the Sprinter van. The Sprinter van is just a large capacity van? Yeah. A lot of people in there? Yeah. Do you all leave from the San Diego airport in Los Angeles, or did you leave from Hooters? I think that the airport, because I think that me and Boogie went back to the airport, something like that. I don't remember, but we all left together. We all left from San Diego, traveling to LA together. Okay, so then you and the individuals, you just stayed where the Sprinter van, and you were driving to Los Angeles. Yes. Okay, and what was the Sprinter van like inside? There was a driver, obviously, correct? Yes. Is this the type of van where the driver could just like reach back and, give you a high five, or was there some sort of barrier? No, there was a barrier, but it had like a little window. Got it. If you could turn to Exhibit 160, Mr. Hester, it should be in a different binder than what you have been using. It'll be in a binder that says Volume 2. The witness. I messed this one up. I made the papers come out. That's all right. All right. Now, what number you say? 160, 160. Okay, I got it. Do you see a photograph in Exhibit 160? Yes. Does that look like a photograph inside the van? Inside of I don't think I'm on the right one. Okay. Do you see a photograph inside the van? Could be. I can't necessarily say that this is the one I was in. Okay. Does it look like a Sprinter van you were in the interior? Yeah. Your Honor, move to admit 106. With that understanding that the witness said that it looked similar to, but did not specifically identify it. So if you wish to use other evidence to try to tie that up, then I'll remove the limitation. Understood, Your Honor. Now it's admitted. As long as the jury understands for the purpose, which is to say, to give you an idea of what the van looks like inside. Thank you, Your Honor. Let's publish these. Publish in 160. Does it look like inside of a van? Yeah. Okay, but the van that you were inside of, like you said, it's not like the driver can necessarily talk directly to you guys. Is that fair? Right. Okay, so you're in the van. You can take it down. You were in the van driving to Los Angeles during that time. Did you ever make contact with Mr. Banks? I didn't make contact with him, but Didi FaceTimed him. I don't know if he FaceTimed Didi, but I know he was on Didi's phone now. Tell us about that. So he got on the phone and he put the camera around to Flocka. Now, Flocka and CVO Shorty said, here go the Navy SEALs, something like that, like the Navy. Here go the Navy SEALs, something like that. You see the Navy SEALs. Did you get the impression Mr. Wilson was referring who he was, or did you get the impression Mr. Wilson was referring to when he said, do you see the Navy SEALs? He put the phone on Flocka and CVO Shorty. Could you see Mr. Banks on FaceTime at that time? Or any other time when you were in the Sprinter? Yeah. Okay, so there's a phone call. Did you hear his voice? Yeah. But it sounds like when you're saying Didi showed and turned the camera in the direction of Flocka and CVO Shorty, yeah, he put it in their direction first. And reference, here go the Navy SEALs. Yeah, here go the Navy SEALs, or you see the Navy SEALs, one of them. What did you understand that to mean? I mean, Navy SEALs are part of the military. I mean, they're killers, I guess. People that go on missions. I don't know how to put it. You said people who go on missions. Yeah. Okay. And you said you eventually saw Mr. Banks on FaceTime? Yeah. Tell us about that. He go crazy, man. Go crazy. Something like that about me. He put a camera in my face, and I slammed the race to dirt. I looked up, and I like, where you at, in the studio? He like, I'm in the stew. I'm in the stew? Yeah. Is that short for studio? Yeah, so when the camera was on you, you said you slammed the race. Yeah. What do you mean by that? I dropped GD, something I always do. So when you threw a gang sign that was so disrespectful to gangster disciples, yeah. Okay, so, okay, and you asked him, where was he at? You said that, Stu, could you see anything that told you where he was or at? Could you? Yeah, that's why I said, where you at? The Stu? It's like, yeah, I'm at the Stu because I've been in that studio before. You've been in that studio he was at, yeah. Under what circumstances were you at that studio before then? Yes? I'm not sure. Okay. But it was someplace you had been. Yeah. It was Wayne's studio. It's like a music producer. I think Wayne was a manager or something like that. Okay, so you said and asked where you at. He said the stew. You said you dropped the race. What happened next? Him and Didi went back to talking on FaceTime. Yeah. And where were you sitting in relation to Mr. Wilson? Were you in the back of him? Were you in front of him? Were you sitting in a circle? How did it look? I was always sitting all the way like the driver's side, all the way in the back. And Didi like in an angle of me. Okay. And what about CVO Shorty? They was like right there, like in front of you. Like Boogie was right there. So he was right here. You're making a motion with your hand. Were they in like the side of the van, center of the van? Yeah, like you could say the center because it was me, them, Boogie. Boogie was over there. Okay, so when Mr. Wilson continues his conversation with Mr. Banks, Mr. Wilson's back to him at that time. Some of the time he was moving around. Like we was up there and we was moving around when he was talking. Okay, did you make any stops on your way from San Diego to Los Angeles? Yes. Tell us about that. I don't know which one was first, but we was on top of a mountain somewhere. Like it was, I don't know where it was at, but we was in up high somewhere. And he's like, you can look down. It was dark, but you could see all the lights and house lights, street lights. It was lit up in the mountains. We stopped for a second. We got off the Sprinter. We stretched our legs and stuff. And I remember somebody trying to take a picture, but it was like dark. I remember even like open my phone. Man, okay, they go to Target and stuff in the store. Why did y'all go to that shit to get hoodies and gloves? Why did you need hoodies and gloves? I mean, because when you do something, you got to try to disguise yourself some type of way. And none of us had none of that. So it sounds like you all went in the store and purchased hoodies and gloves. Yeah. Did you purchase hoodies and gloves? Yes. Did everyone purchase their own hoodies and gloves, or did one person purchase it? How did they go? Nah, we didn't all like individually like go to the register and buy one ourselves. Yes, no. Okay, but you all got hoodies and gloves individually. Yes. Okay, and you went back to Sprinter and continued on to LA. Yes. Okay. So eventually you arrive in LA. Yes. Okay. Tell us what happened when you arrived. We pulled up at, I remember it was a car lot, like right there somewhere, like on the side of us. Like we was on a street, a busy street, wide street. But when we appeared, Cuz said, go back. He hopped on, said, what's up? Him and Didi stepped off for a second, like just the two of them. I don't know what conversation was about or nothing, but he hopped back on. Cuz like, I got some bad news. And I'm like, what's the bad news? Cuz say, I only got 3 guns. And so we understood once you get to Los Angeles, you said, Cuz meet up with you in the Sprinter van. Yeah. And the first time you saw Cuz is when he came to Sprinter van door. Yeah. Okay. Was there an initial greeting, or did he just leave quickly to the Sprinter van with Mr. Wilson? No. We said what's up with him. I think I even shook up with him. Yeah. But okay. And then you're at some point, Mr. Wilson's and Cuz step off the Sprinter van? Yes. At some point, who's in the Sprinter van? Me, Boogie, Flock, and CVO Shorty. And you said that that Cuz eventually came back. Yeah. Did he come back with Didi, or did he just come back alone? He came back with Didi. He said that he had bad news. Yes. So tell us what happens from here. So he said he got bad news. He got 3 guns. So I remember I'm trying to see which of them it was. I don't. Cuz had them. Didi was grabbing them from him. Like I remember that 2 Glocks that had sticks on them hanging out of the hoodie pockets. I ain't sure which one, but I know Didi grabbing the guns. He gave one to CVO Shorty first, which was a Glock, and then he gave Faka the other Glock that had a switch on it. And he held the Beretta in his hand. He said to me, I'm rusty. You rusty? He like, I don't know, kind of rusty. It's been a while. Referring to you. Yeah. Did you take one of the firearms? Yeah, he gave me the Beretta. So Jam's gun had jammed. He only shot twice. He actually, that's crazy. Yeah, Jam shot twice before his shit jammed on him. He gave me the Beretta. Was there any discussion before that moment who would actually be the shooters? No. Okay, so that was the moment it was determined who would be a shooter. Yes. All right. And you mentioned a switch. What is a switch? it's a piece that you put on the back of a gun to make it fully automatic. You put on the back of the Glock to make it fully automatic. And you mentioned that is the one Flocka, Mr. Jones had. Oh, so Flocka the one who killed killed Lil Pop. Yes. Okay, what happens next? He asked where the car was at. I don't remember who asked, but somebody asked where the car was at. He say he was either pulling up behind us or he was behind us, and we got out the car. When I got out the Sprinter, the dude, I couldn't really see his face. He had his hood and shit tied up, but he was like wiping, like using the sleeve of his hoodie, like wiping the door handle stuff. The door handle stuff. This is another individual that you haven't mentioned? Yeah. Separate from the group that traveled to LA. Yeah. And not Cuz. Yeah, not Cuz. This was a person who Cuz was getting the car from. Okay. It appeared this person delivering a vehicle? Yes. Okay. What did the car look like? It was a 4-door Infiniti, tinted windows. Did you understand that to be a slider or to be a hot car that was going to be used in the murder? Yes. So you see this individual wiping the door handles with his sleeves and his hoodie. What happens next? Cuz gave him his money. He went about his way. So he leaves. Yeah. Are you outside at this point? Are you still in the Sprinter van? No, we outside. Who is outside? All of us. I think like all of us was. Everyone who came from Los Angeles. Excuse me? Everyone who came from San Diego Airport? Yes. And Cuz, yeah. Okay, and Cuz. Where was the driver of the Sprinter van? I don't remember. Okay, the slider gets delivered or the hot car. Yeah. What happens next? And me and Flocka, Boogie, and CVL Shorty got in our car, and Didi and Cuz got in the other car, the BMW. So Cuz got in the BMW with Didi? Yes. And you, CVL Shorty, and Flocka got in the slider, the hot car? Yes. Okay, do you remember around what time it was? It was in the evening. Is that right? Yeah, that was night. Oh, my bad. Yeah, it was dark. I don't know what time it was. Don't know. So once you all are in those different cars, where do you go next? We went to the hotel, and that's that we went that Quando Rondo and them was at. And then it was like we had to follow Cuz, and I'm like to Little Slide Block, like it was kind of dark. It wasn't too far from the hotel was at. But then, but that is when I got out of the car with Flocka in there and got in the car with Didi. He was gonna see like the hotel, you know the ins and outs about it. So you parked a little bit from the hotel, and what you recall, yes. And you were saying that you got out the car and walked on foot closer to the hotel. No, I got in the car with Didi and Cuz. I got out the car with Flocka and them, the Boogie and them, and got in the car with Didi. Got it. And Cuz. So now it's you, Cuz, and Didi in the BMW? Yes. And what do you all talk about? We was going to see, like, scope the scene out, like, see what was doing. Duty was on the phone, and Duty was letting it be known that dude told him he was a certain amount of minutes away. So they had to get ready to come down soon.
Hold on, pause. I thought the rumor online was that it was a woman. They just said dude. Or did I miss an update? Because I'm like, I thought they made overnight, they were saying it was a woman. They actually were saying it was India. What's India? India Love. They just said it was a dude.
And that the weed dude was expecting some money, but he ain't giving him nothing. Like he just going to get the money for Quando, whatever the case may be. So let me just make sure I understand you. You say you are in the car when a vehicle with Cuz, Didi, and yourself. And Duty Low Cost? Yeah, he was on FaceTime. Okay. And he tells you that the weed guy who was Quando's location is close by? He wasn't really close by. This is what he told. He basically told Quando and them, like, he was, I don't remember the right number, but he was a certain amount of minutes away. So they're going to be coming down shortly. So this is coming from Duty Low. Duty Low is saying, I told the weed guy to tell Rondo that. I'm just going to object to repeating the direct. The jurors can hear the testimony. Mr. Morris, if it's clear, court overruled. Okay, so Duty Low is telling you and the folks in the car that Duty Low, talked to the person who was selling weed, who was providing Quando's location? Yes. And that person told Duty Low that person had told Quando Rondo that person was almost their driver, there to deliver the weed? Exactly. What was your impression that? What was some kind of trick to bring Quando Rondo downstairs? Yes. Can you tell us about it? Why do you think that? I mean, because that's what Duty was telling us. Like, Dude not really coming. Like, Quando and them fixing to come out there, and basically, like, that is the plan, was to get them at was when they came out to get the weed. Mr. Morris, can you publish Exhibit 13, page 6, please? Showing Exhibit 13, page 6. Have you seen screenshots like this before? Yes. Okay. This is when you were meeting with the FBI to talk about your testimony, right? Okay. And does this show a surveillance footage from the travel hotel? I mean, from the Level Hotel? Yeah, it looks like the place. Yeah. Okay. And does this look like the slider to the hot car? Mr. Morris, if you can zoom in, maybe. It's kind of little. Kind of hard to see? Yeah. Okay. Mr. Morris, zoom out, please. And what you said about this vehicle here. Yeah. Okay. As we was on opposite sides of the street at some point. Yeah. Can you repeat that? I said, yeah, because we was on opposite sides. I remember I was being on the opposite sides of the street at one point. 2 different cars? Yeah. When you were on the opposite side of the streets, do you remember which car you were in? I was in the BMW. You were in the BMW? Yeah. With Didi and Cuz still? Yeah. Okay. So you got that call indicating that Quando Rondo may be coming downstairs from the Mr. Still. It's very leading, Your Honor. Court. All right. Mr. Still, he continues to repeat. The court, I understand that is your objection. Mr. Still, the objection is overruled. So Duty tells you that. What happens next? So, we sit there for a minute, looking through the look glass, see if anybody in. We sat there for a minute, but then we end up pulling off. We all pulled off and went back to a little side block, and we.
Oh, God dang. They done said dude and low name so many times. Man, I told y'all yesterday I wouldn't be nowhere near that courthouse. Like, I didn't know they were saying his name this much. Jesus.
He was just like, are we going to go when he come out? We're going to let the other car know to pull up. Okay, so you were in a BMW right outside the Level Hotel. Yes. And the other car, the slider, was somewhere else? Yeah, like we have our left. We went to the side block. It ain't that far away. I'm not from LA, so I can't tell you exactly where I was, but I was a little side block that was like dark. And that's where we had hot car flocking them part. And me, Didi, and Cuz was in the BMW. We're gonna pull up and we're gonna go sit right there and see when they come out. And when they come out, we're gonna make the call to them to come. Did they eventually come out? Yeah. That guys you knew, yeah, they did. Someone came out, yeah. What happened? So they just came out without a candle or and it was very crazy because from our point of view, why I say it was crazy because it was just like y'all don't even know people here to get y'all. Y'all just coming out freely, just walking up and down the street, looking down the street. One of them got on one of them little scooters and was just like, even Didi said it. Didi had the Beretta in his hand at the time. Didi had pointed the gun out the window like, boy, I could fuck them up right now. Like, they lacking. Like, they easy. We got them like that. Like, the dude in them, they was really just not paying attention to their surroundings or anything. And then we was trying to, like, figure out which one was Quando. I knew it. I fucking knew it. And they were saying, like, how that got to be with him, with the one with the army fatigues, the Pushites, because some like, that's him. It got to be him. Dude had that camouflage hoodie on, and he had pulled that mouth part down at one point because he was smoking a cigarette. I think it was a cigarette. He was smoking something. I think it was a cigarette, though. And we saw his grill. So, motherfucker, like, that's him. And did you call the people in the Infinity and tell them to come to the Level Hotel? We had them on standby, but, like, the police was ride past. Like, it was police trucks. Like, ride past 1 minute, and then here come another one, and then here come another one. So it's like, damn, this is kind of hot. Like, police steady riding. So was the decision made to not try to shoot them outside? Yeah. You mentioned someone with camouflage. You used the term Pushisti. Yeah. What is that? It's a ski mask. Okay, like a head covering? Yeah. and you notice someone was wearing that who had it was camouflage color. Yeah. So you decided as a group, it sounds like not to, Mr. Stilliana, I'm just going to object to the court. I understand that. The witness has already testified. It's setting it up for the next question. The objection is overruled. By the way, you said that Mr. Wilson had a Beretta while you were in the BMW. Yeah, he grabbed a Beretta out of my hand. Yeah. Where you all were sitting. Cuz was driving. He was in the passenger seat, and I was behind him in the back seat. Yeah. Did you have a gun at this point? I had the Beretta first, but Didi grabbed a Beretta. And that's when he like pointed it like, boy, they easy. I can get out and fuck them up right now. Like they lacking. Like he pointed the gun, not like sticking out the window or nothing, but he pointed it at the window, like toward them, like they don't even like they easy. Like if it hadn't been for those police vehicles that you all saw multiple times, would that murder have gone down right there? Yes, it would have. Was Didi the only one in the car, in the BMW, that point with a gun, or did anyone else have a gun? The other guys was the other two guns was in the other car. Gotcha. They were with the other car. Yeah. Okay. What happens next? We just call it off. Didi like, yeah, it's too hot. The police steady riding up here. It's too risky. There go that damn word again. You use the word hot. How does that have a particular meaning where you from? Yeah, so Chicago, like when police keep riding through your area, we say it's hot, police hot. Can other things or police also be considered hot? Yeah, can you explain that? Like drawing too much attention to themselves by the police doing dumb shit. They say you hot. Got it. Okay. So it was too hot that night. What did you guys do next? We went to a hotel. Did you travel together? Both cars followed each other to the hotel? Yes. By the way, while you were outside the Level Hotel before you left, were you all communicating via phone? Yeah. Was it FaceTime or regular calls? Nah, it was. If you don't recall, it's cool. I mean, it's okay too. Yeah, I can't say, but yeah, we was communicating through phone. I ain't sure if it was FaceTime or not, though. Okay, but a decision was made to leave and both cars leave. Yes. You said you went to a hotel? Yes. Where was the hotel? I don't know. I just remember Cuz saying, I'm not from California, so I can't tell you where nothing at. But I just remember Cuz saying, like, this where we going. I'm going to take y'all to the hotel. Everybody that go to Disney World or Disneyland, go to this hotel whenever we're going to Disneyland or whatever. And all of you ended up going to that hotel? Yes. And did you handle check-in? How did the check-in work? Cuz went in and got the room, and then did you all go to that room? Yeah. What happened once you got there? Told Cuz I need some weed. Cuz left to get some weed. We sat in the room. Cuz came back out, came with the weed. We went out, got it. It's like the room was like on the first level, and it had a little slide door that led to the little parking lot. Me and Flocka and them went out, and there's smoke. We went back in the room. Shit, we laid down and wasn't too much talking. People was on their phones, and we went to sleep. Was the plan to carry out the murder the next day? Yeah. Your Honor, I think it's a good place to stop the court. I'm sorry I didn't catch that. Mr. Hester, would you please repeat yourself? The witness. I said, yeah, we planned on catching them there before they left the court. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to break for the day. Remember what I told you?
Oh, okay. We have concluded the reading of Jam's. Hold on, yeah. All right, we have concluded the reading of Jam's testimony from yesterday. Let's see. Let me see. I pretty much feel like we caught up with what was going on yesterday. I kind of feel like that. Let's see. Let's see what academics
is coming into play. Next, the prosecution asks some questions about, kind of goes back about Dirk and how he was feeling about King Von's death. And we've heard a lot in the courtroom that Hester has testified Dirk didn't like being made fun of or ridiculed for letting the shooting of King Von fly, to let that just get away with that. And so one quote that Hester said, Dirk said, was, the whole world saw them run. Them being O-Block, the crew, they ran when King Von was shot, and that was very embarrassing. That wasn't, they lost a lot of respect from that.
All right, pause. We're gonna go back over to Ceddy Nash because we're gonna go back to Ceddy Nash. He just dropped something an hour ago, and I've been following what he's been posting on Instagram. So we're gonna go back to that real quick.
So I'm gonna show y'all something. This right here is the most accurate photo of Lil Durk. Obviously, we're in the federal courthouse. So this right here is the most accurate photo of Lil Durk. That's how his hair is. He looked cool. You know what I'm saying? He lost a little bit of weight. Obviously, he ain't on drugs and all that in that jailhouse. So it seemed like he doing all right. Now, what's to be expected today is dude is gonna get done with his testimony. He was sitting at the table like he was a lawyer, but he's an agent. And like I said, the judge said he didn't want anybody on the damn table, in the damn courtroom, who literally was going to testify. This shit for Vaughn, all of this shit. And then Money Duke basically was talking hella shit. And he got on group chat, texting everybody talking hella shit. So,
popping up on my shit right now.
Shout out. So anyways, goddamn Money Duke and them, they get on group chat with DD and what's cuz name? With DD and Jam and Durk, and they all talking shit. And Jam like, nigga, we gonna go to war with the audience. Fuck them. Nigga, hey, bro, y'all ain't slide for Vaughn. The Money Duke like, nigga, y'all didn't slide for Vaughn. Y'all didn't do shit for Vaughn, bro. So, nigga, fuck y'all. And so it just go off like that, bro. So you mean to tell me O-Block and Lamron was basically gonna go to war for not sliding for Vaughn, bro? Crazy shit. Keeps tuning in. I'm about to update the shit out y'all. To go viral, bro. This shit about to go viral. So you got Jam, who basically told the whole entire thing. They basically got away with it, bro. They literally basically got away with it. Jam got pulled over, had a gun on him, and basically wrote a note. The note literally reads, I know about murders. I don't want to talk on camera. I know a lot. Then we ended before lunch with the damn lawyer saying, do you still got love for Lil Durk? He gonna say, yeah, I love Lil Durk. But, you know, what Lil Durk did was selfish. What Lil Durk did was basically put me in a situation with people I don't know, you know, with cats I don't even know. When we went and slid for Vaughn, I didn't even know Vaughn. If it had been like Booney Mo, then it wouldn't have been no problem and all that. And then he said he had no reason to do this. And he said he still got love for Durk. He was there for me, and I feel bad. And I know he hate me, but I still got love for Durk. Bro, how you love me and all that shit, but you just trying to throw me up under there. And here's what's crazy. He said he feels bad for sliding on Quando Rondo and all them, but it's some more shit to get into. So Lamron almost get into a war with Rich O Lamron and everybody versus OTF because of some shit that happened with Booney Mo. So Booney Mo get into it with some cash from Lamron, and they got locations. Rich O Lamron is on house arrest, but nobody go slide on his car. Jam like, yeah, my baby mama, she from Lamron, she could have got the load. So they was planning to all go meet up and go fight or shoot it out and all this shit on some real socials versus greasers. If you remember the Outsiders, bro, that shit was crazy as hell. They talking about, yeah. So Rich O Lamron and them and hella Lamron members was up there dissing the shit out of Lil Durk and everybody, saying they ain't did this and they ain't do that and all this shit, bro. And basically, cats was hot. They was pissed the hell off. So they like, Jam told Durk, hey, nigga, don't respond to these niggas no more on social media. Nigga, we finna war. We finna thug it up. Fuck these niggas, bro. Hey, nigga, give me the car and I go do this shit myself. Nigga, I'll go slide on the motherfuckers my goddamn self. One last thing. The reason why he said he didn't want the shit on camera was because everybody getting their hands on body cam footage and all that shit. So like, man, I don't want nobody to put me on body cam footage and all this shit. So that's why Jam basically wrote the note that, hey, no video cameras, no video cameras. I know all about murders. This all because Jam couldn't take his fucking lick. Jam said he felt sorry for Quando Rondo people because he didn't do anything to him and all this punk ass shit. But while he was out before they got caught, Jam was out there being aggressive, talking about shooting motherfuckers and all this shit. So you felt bad because of what exactly? He never expressed no remorse about shooting that motherfucker in the head in Wisconsin. He never expressed any of this shit. He said it's against code for BDs to tell and all this shit. You got to die for the gang and all this. But you ain't do none of that shit. He couldn't take his lick because he was on parole for the 12 years that he had did for some shit that happened when he got told on basically
12 years ago for that shit. So that's his whole reason. We found out that Braids, the Braids motherfucker, he lied in his testimony. I done piece the shit out of him if I'm Brian Steele, because Braids lied about the cameras that said that, hey, bruh, we didn't have cameras and all this shit. No, literally, they could have audio recorded it because Jam the one who said no video cameras. That's the reason why. So if you was such a head honcho and all this shit, how you didn't read the note about the person who said, hey, bro, I'm finna come snitch, just don't bring no video. If he would have said, bro, hey, man, I'm not going to snitch if y'all bring cameras, that's one thing. But he said they didn't bring him for a whole entire different reason. Say to him, we got way more coming out because, man, this shit is crazy. They talking about, hey, bro, Lil Durk was buying hot cars for everybody, but there's a bombshell that happened too. They say, Jeff say, niggas didn't get paid for sliding for Vine. It wasn't for sliding for Vine outside of LA. So they really destroying the murder for hire part because they basically come out and say Lil Durk was putting money in the street for people because motherfuckers kept on begging. They was asking for houses and cars and all this shit. And then Lamron versus OTF war damn near started. So the Quando Rondo shooting ends up happening like this. They basically get Quando Rondo's location. They pull up. BD presses the gun to the goddamn window, say, I can smoke these niggas right now. They goofy as shit. They ultimately don't do it because it's a lot of people. They pull back up in the early morning again. They don't bust them because it's a lot of people. They thought about basically getting out there and getting in the paint. So they follow him to a weed shop. The weed shop staying there for a minute. Then they send Brown Eyes in there. He go disrobe, take all his shit, go up in there. He like, we can't go inside it because, bruh, it's armed security. It's all of this shit in there. So they follow him to the vape store. These fools stop for a moment about running in the vape store and shooting the fuck out of Quando Rondo. But they was worried that the damn door would lock. So they like, nah, we ain't finna go do that. So they keep on following. And then when they pull up to the gas station, they see Quando and them get out. That's when they go make that turn and they decide, man, fuck this. We ain't finna go do it. But they say, I can't remember. Flocka basically fucking shot first. His gun jammed, and then he said that Flocka had the Beretta and that he shot his shit like 4 times. And Flocka had shot the shit over Brown Eye's head, so they start arguing and shit about this. Why they shoot the fucking gun and shit? Like, nigga, you almost fucking blew my head off. All this shit. So they get back in there and they get rid of the goddamn stolen car. They parked the stolen car somewhere in LA, and they basically hop all in the car. So everybody in the car, nigga, we talking niggas 6'5", fat ass fucking Jam, all of these people and all that. They all in the cars basically doing that shit. Then they get into the car, they go to In-N-Out. But when they go to In-N-Out, they see 2 cops there. And fucking Jam them there freeze up like, man, fuck, maybe they see me because of my shoes and all this shit. So that ain't what end up happening. They get food from In-N-Out, then they get a Sprinter back to San Diego, and they get the hell out of there. But they throw away they shit as far as the guns. I mean, basically, long story short, they do that shit. So when they did all this, they say that Durk was on the phone with them in the car, but he couldn't see Durk on the phone because he's laid over. Jam fat ass is laid over 3 dudes in the back of this car. And they drive it basically to In-N-Out. They get a driver to take them from In-N-Out basically to San Diego. But here's the crazy part. All that bullshit about, oh, they met up with Durk or any of that in LA. They never met up with Durk in LA. That didn't even happen. So that's a big ass lie. I'm finna go back in this motherfucker. But hey, Setting Nash, make sure you follow.
Ooh, that was a lot going on. All right, y'all. Y'all know I was supposed to be on to 8 o'clock, but I've decided to go ahead and go to a nail shop because I got a lot to do this weekend. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead. Not you hate when fat people call other people fat. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I still do. It just depends, okay? Because me and my homegirl definitely call each other fat back and forth. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get off, y'all, because I really need to catch the nail shop. I don't know. I might just, instead of going live tonight like I did last night, I'm gonna go live tomorrow. I'm gonna do a couple video drops. Y'all know we are keeping up with what's going on. I think I'm just gonna do videos for the rest of the day. However, I'm back live tomorrow for as much coverage of what's going on in real time as possible. But I just really wanted to hear the transcripts from yesterday because it was a lot of it was a lot of information yesterday that was like different every time I heard it from somebody. Cause remember, Trap Lil Ross put out that Dirt takes duty low, and then Mel said that it was Slime Life Shawty, and then I had to wait 2 hours for SETI to get me hit me back to confirm that Mel was right. So I kind of like the delay in getting the information, and I definitely want to hear the transcript. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drop some videos as far as my analysis of what we heard in the transcripts. So y'all make sure y'all have y'all post notifications on. And I will see y'all tomorrow. For everybody that like to tune in on live, we had a good live. We've been on this thing for 3 hours. Not too bad for my first week back on YouTube. Okay, for real. So with that being said, like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. I'll pull up on your girl Mickey Truth. I'll catch y'all later.